walking down the street, everybody that you meet has an original point of view. And I say, hey, what a wonderful kind of day. If you could learn to work and play and get along with each other. You got to listen to your heart, listen to the beat, listen to the rhythm of the street. Open up your eyes, open up your ears, get together and make things better by working together. It's a simple message and it comes from the heart. Oh, believe in yourself, for that's the place to start. And I say, hey, what a wonderful kind of day. To learn to work and play and get along with each other. What a wonderful kind of day. What a wonderful kind of day.
Hey, DW! Hey! Whoa!
Every day when you're walking down the street, everybody that you meet has an original point of view. And I say, hey, what a wonderful kind of day. If you could learn to work and play and get along with each other. You got to listen to your heart, listen to the beat, listen to the rhythm of the street. Open up your eyes, open up your ears, get together and make things better by working together. It's a simple message and it comes from the heart. Oh, believe in yourself, for that's the place to start. And I say, hey, what a wonderful kind of day. To learn to work and play and get along with each other. What a wonderful kind of day. What a wonderful kind of day.
Hey, DW! Hey! Whoa!
Turn this down. Hello. Look at those good cats. Welcome back to Shadowrun Hong Kong. Alright, we had to pick a job, I forgot. Did we buy a cyber deck? I think I did. I think I bought, yeah, I bought a deck. And I bought some programs. I didn't buy any spells, I think, because I don't remember that, I don't think any of the spells are really very exciting. They were on off, or unless I bought like a blast, but no, I already had a blast spell, didn't I? Maybe I did. No, I don't think I did. If I did, maybe I bought it. I don't remember. I know we need to pick a... I did get a spell. Alright. And it was the AoE spell. That's what I was thinking. I did get a you know, whatchamacallit, a deck. Still got more stuff. So spellcasting used without conjuring or summoning. What is this used for? One of these, one of these conjuring or summoning. I guess it's conjuring is the shaman spells, and summoning is the actual spirits. It's very confusing, obviously, since conjuring and summoning are literally synonyms for each other. I really like this portrait still. It's really good. So let's see. We need to take a job. I think that's basically all we need to do. We need to choose a job. And all the jobs, we had like 4 offered and they were all fine. 3 offered, sorry. So let's see. Serial killer. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. There's a limit on the number of alarms. Okay. Oh, we can just take all of them right now. All right. Hi, Sophie. Oh, they are. Oh, I forgot for this game that I was putting the dialogue in a different place. Or not the dialogue, the cat cam. This is a bad name. You don't like my name? The name of the stream? The title? The Emperor's Tomb Museum. You audibly groaned. Well, that's, I mean, that seems like a success to me. It's a pun, but without a pun. Well, no, the pun is we got our sin. The whole first plot of this game was we got our sins burned. Everyone was always talking about burning our sins. That's the pun. I mean, jury's out on whether it's a good pun, but it is an actual pun. Sin being, I actually don't know what it stands for. Hey, what's going on over there? Hello? Social insurance number. That's not what it stands for in Shadowrun. I just looked it up. I was like, no. Stands for system identification number. Yeah, that's bad. I was like, there's no insurance in Shadowrun, let alone social insurance. Let's loot a dig site. Additional runners available. Sweet. So we want you, you, and you. I don't know if we've seen these before. As dangerous in meat space as she is in the Matrix, carries explosives and a silver gun pistol. She does have a grenade launcher. That's kind of neat. Fires miniature grenades. Rigger and roboticist fights with the aid of his mil-spec walker form drone. Hey, he didn't like it when I called it a mil-spec. It's custom. Why does he have... Wait. Oh. I was like, why does he have two guns? But this isn't a gun. I don't know what that means. Is he Beodur? Not as far as... He doesn't seem to be personality-wise. Also, his drone is, I think, significantly more deadly. Oh, he's got some cyber legs. Oh, because he's an amputee. Doesn't actually have very good skills. I mean, I guess that's 3 is about where you expect them to be right now, but come on, man. That drone blew up that drone blew up a planet and killed a bigger orb. I mean, maybe. It had the capability to, I guess, is the relevant part. In one ending, yeah. That's why I was like, isn't it, if you go dark side, don't you, doesn't, Goto win? Oh, look at all these other people. Killuminati! Yeah, none of it's canon anymore, so it doesn't matter. There's no... We don't have to pretend. We don't have to be like, this is the canon ending. This is the canon characters. They're all male and they're all light side. I guess I think the exile was maybe canonically female. I don't remember. One of them, I think they finally were like, fine, one of them's female. Did you read the books? The Star Wars books? Like Coder books? I mean, no, I have not read any such books. See, he can use sniper rifles, I suppose. So because it's all under rifle. So once I get, they're really bad. Oh, they're between Coder 2 and the Old Republic MMO. Well, that just sounds bad, yes. Straight off, because presumably they exist to, like, set up the MMO. Yeah, so I guess we can eventually get Duncan with I just wish I had somebody else with an assault rifle, but this is my problem. The guy who wrote them, I don't think he played Coder 2. I mean, that also seems... Without having read them, that seems plausible. The Exile was just the Jedi from 2. This job is a golden opportunity in more ways than one. A raid of the in-development museum, the Emperor's Tomb, which is not actually an Emperor's Tomb, as the guy giving it the job made clear. The museum's claim to fame is its location rests on top of ancient catacombs, where an excavation is underway to convert them into the museum proper. Intel has it that workers are dying, not from on-site accidents, but from magical disturbances in the area. Despite the hazards, development continues. It's trapped. Your client, Mr. Drake, contacted you to retrieve 2 tomes, probably ancient, magical, priceless, but it won't be smashed in the park. You have to get the tomes before they're cataloged, where they'll afterward be near impossible to access. As you near the museum, its height and grandeur looms unsettlingly over you. Even unfinished, it's reached an imposing size. At least that means it has plenty of room for pricey antiques. Best part, Mr. Drake needs this round to look unprofessional. Shattered glass and looting is encouraged. We're going to the dig. Oh, Duncan can he's got all these slots open. So yeah, we just need to get him like a sniper rifle. Put him in a second slot. Alright. What was... Yeah. Why is this golden locked as opposed to regular locked? Also, he has less armor, but I guess he's going to be at the back lines. No, I don't need to open the scheme. Entry worked just like Drake said. You creep into the dark, unfinished site. Your comm link clicks in your ear, connecting a call. Good. Now I'll be appraising what you see as you go through this floor. Grab the best stuff, and my alarm suppression should keep you afloat. Just don't get too ballsy. If the books haven't been cataloged yet, they'll still be in the basement, the tomb. I'll be in touch. The earpiece clicks off. Call disconnected. Didn't even stay on the line long enough for you to get a word in. Team powers up the nearby generator. Work lights along the new marble flooring sleepily flicker to life. Everyone surveys the site. You know, I've always wanted to do something like this. What? These artifacts have all been stolen from the earth. So now we gotta teach a lesson to the man who's excavating it. That they were never truly his. There's an error in your logic, Gobbet. We're being paid to steal the same artifacts, putting our client in the same position. These objects don't belong to him either. Oh, he'll get what he deserves too. Objects like these are too bright to remain in some vault or display case. More thieves will be drawn to them, like moths to a diode. I'm just excited to be part of the cycle. Right. I don't know that makes sense. Wow. Steal 10,000 new yen. Do not trip the museum alarm. Alright. Grand opening coming 2057. Ooh, look at all that. Ooh. Alright, so we gotta like calculate what's the best things to steal because we have a limited amount of things to bust open. Oh, well, that one's good. That's a big value there. Hmm. It's a painting. It reads, with a plaque beneath it, it reads, The Lady of Shalott, 1888. Check the bookshelf. The bookshelf is made from your standard stained wood. It's filled with books by famous poets, both English and Chinese. Look at the books. You find several books that aren't organized properly. They don't appear to be poetry. Moving the books and thumbing through them reveals nothing else unusual. It's clearly a secret door, god damn it. I really need strength 5. Like, I can't have Duncan do it. Bypass the login system. Section of the OS has security hold lets you bypass the password without cracking it by spoofing the user credentials. Sure it does. I mean, that's actually like a meaningful thing because they're not actually getting too in the weeds. Just enough. So it's just silly that, I mean, never mind. Access the office room controls? Appears this room is rigged to respond to computer-generated commands. The options are few. Candlelight, business casual. Sure. Attempt to bypass the password. Oh, okay. Access the file system. Several saved emails. Ciao. Per our recent discussion, I've attached this email to revised museum blueprints. Prints outline various changes of structure and building materials need to be implemented as soon as possible. Some backtracking may be necessary, but it will cut supply and building costs by over 13% without compromising the museum's size and grandeur. I know you're against it. Production output will have to increase in order to meet our end of year unveiling. I'll leave it up to you to figure out the details. But if I find that you and your team are sliding off again, more cuts will be made. As to the loss of your worker, Mr. Fay, I offer you my condolences. We both know construction is dangerous work and accidents are commonplace. Look at this opportunity to hire someone more competent who won't get himself killed. Wow. I processed your informal request yesterday morning. Given a persuasive pittance, the Fay family agreed to forego public retribution regarding the loss of Mr. Kian Fay. Mr. Fay is the fourth laborer who lost hazardous working conditions. Public image is very important to the cooperation, and it's unlikely another transgression will go unnoticed. As your lawyer, I must advise you to double down on construction safety protocols or seek an alternative to monetary bribes. Money will buy silence in the short term, but we ultimately want a more permanent solution. I'll forward you contact information of a Ganxian-funded organization that can assist you with such matters. Mr. Ping. I can assure you that recent rumors regarding construction infractions, working fatalities, and malpractice are all untrue. Complete fiction invented by local gossip circuits to stir up trouble for hard-working men like myself. I've taken every possible precaution with this museum and have spared no expense. Should you need proof, I'll send you my lawyer's contact information. I promise you'll find no infractions filed against me or Ganxian Enterprises. Your investment is sound. The remote building controls? This place is still under construction. The local major tower probably hasn't hooked up yet. Okay, so room's lighting fades to an orange hue that flickers arrhythmically as electronic candles activate for the doorway. Ambience. Room's lighting intensifies and shifts through the various colors. What? Why can't I look at the books again? I have intelligence 3. Well, that's weird. Well, guess we might have to do a little smash and grab. We need more if we're gonna get there. We don't have... Oh, wait, did I not grab this? No, I did. It's just still showing it to me, which is very annoying. Yeah, this is not coded very well. So there's a locked door here. Duncan! Oh, I guess Duncan might actually not have 5 strength. He has 4. Oh, Woody has 5 strength. Alright, so we can't actually... So what... I wish I could look at those again. Hi, Daimon. The shadows are treating us alright so far. Well... Maybe... Oh wait, there's a door over here. Didn't realize there's another door. Oh. Huh. Terminal is powered off. Oh. Okay. What? Okay, I think we're gonna come back through here. But just in case we don't, I will save. I think we can come back and try... Okay, yeah, we just go down here. We can immediately go back upstairs. Alright, that's fine then. Do not enter. Alright. Good to know. Oh, I think I vaguely remember this level. Maybe? Maybe I'm just thinking of a similar one. Okay, well, I got an ancient book. I don't know if that's the ancient book that I needed. We didn't get an assessment from our dude. Oh, hello. The heck is that? A gargoyle and a mummified corpse. Oh, you know. Just your usual. Oh, can't get back there. Alright, well, let's go interact with this. Jack in. I'm in. Okay. Oh! Just a... Oh, I guess this is just the full... Wow, this is a terrible... This is terrible. I had never seen this before. Like, because you can't, like, zoom in on this. It's so tiny. Why is it so tiny? Oh, based on our spell slots available is based on half their essence. Oh, okay. Well, that's important to know. It didn't even really register until just now to me that the level up points are called karma, which is awful. Please never call things karma. Aww. These are supposed to be your. Oh boy. I shot 3 dudes, it means I've got loads of karma. Yeah. Like, just call it fucking experience then. Like, it's dumb, but at least it's not, like, offensive to any religion or culture. Huh. I did not know this thing existed. This screen. It's not very good. Is this supposed to be a diegetic representation of the PDAs everyone uses because ew? I don't think so. I mean, obviously it's vaguely cyber. This is no. Also, is this really? I didn't remember that this is actually. I guess maybe this is in Shadowrun proper that they are referred to as Street Samurai. I guess they are. That's right. But like, they're just soldier. You know, like the soldier class or the fighter class or whatever. I mean, obviously there's not even a class, but like, there's no code of street honor learned in the ways of traditional samurai. Like, the fuck. Are there runes? But having said that, everyone carries a nanofilament katana. Nah, I think that would be overpowered. So. Each term you Remian in combat, system trace will increase. Oh, I don't think I ever knew how this worked in Dragonfall. Oh no, you gotta be kidding me. Oh God. There's an actual, like, hacking mini game that isn't, you know, this, it's in addition to this whole thing, there's an actual hacking game. Oh, terrible. Follow and match the sequences using your numpad or mouse. You can press next as soon as you have even one pip to start step 2. Press start again to let... What? I have literally no idea what this means. Click the matching solution here. Based on clues above, the correct answer will let you... Yeah, like, this is already an entire hacking mini game. Or, like, yeah, it's its own subsystem, like, it's its own gameplay layer. Why is there another thing on top of that that is bad? Like, it's funny how hacking in regular, like in tabletop Shadowrun, is bad because it's a full, it is the regular game, but in cyberspace, and generally, you know, you have one decker, and so everyone else is just sitting around doing nothing while the decker is playing out a fucking combat encounter by themselves. But in the video game, that works perfectly. That's exactly what you want to do, because you're only playing by yourself. But then they're like, what if we threw in a regular video game hacking game that everyone hates? Oh my, what in the fuck? Oh, it's not just like turn-based, like... Okay, because in Dragonfall, whenever you go into the Matrix, it's automatically turn-based. So this isn't turn-based, but this is actually like... Oh god, this is garbage. Yeah. Oh, this is so bad. Why did you make it worse? Why didn't you just leave it what it was? Alright. God, this is... Oh no. Okay. Okay. But like, what am I looking for? Oh, I guess I'm trying to get to there. I'm me to go back. I'm like, I gotta look, because it's like, oh, it's all based on which specific squares. Okay, yeah, I can go up here. Did we need stealth sequences in this game? Is that a thing this game needed? Alright. Not having turns on this is actually super annoying. Also, why can't you just do this? Why can't you hit the button to go into combat? Like, if they wanted to do this but have turns, at least I could, like... Guess I just fucking save the game. Fuck. I fucked up. These haven't reset?! I've been doing nothing for... Oh my god. This is so garbage. How did they make this... Why did they make this so much worse? Oh, you... Oh, fuck off. I got... Oh, that's... Why would they do this? Why? Ugh. I don't want to be a decker now. I mean, it doesn't actually matter because I have to play it whoever the decker is. Doesn't matter if it's my character or somebody else. Okay, so the thing was, I can come up here after this guy. Or, wait. Shoot, what was this? I had a plan that just didn't work. Okay. Oh my god, I didn't fucking... Shit. Well, part of that was my mouse click. My first mouse click didn't work. Maybe just stand in front of one and kill it and then dodge the other. I mean... I would feel a lot better doing that if I actually had all my abilities. Like, if they actually had cooled down. But why the fuck have... So I can sort of... I mean, I can imagine, even though I think it's a bad decision... I can imagine looking at the mini game, or you know, whatever, the layer in Dragonfall, the hacking, and saying we want to do more of this. We want to make this more exciting. We want to have this stuff, and coming up with some of these mechanics, even if again I think they're bad ideas pretty much across the board. I cannot, for the life of me, imagine why you would not have abilities cool down in between combats, like while I'm just been standing here for minutes. Like, that is nonsense. that's so bad and frustrating and unintuitive. It's just like, no, okay. Oh, it is actually. God, they're not actually synced up, are they? Presumably your regular combat abilities cool down between fights in meat space. Yeah. I don't remember ever starting a fight in meat space and not having everything cooled down. Like if you actually goes to where they put their guns down. Okay, yeah, they're not synchronized. Okay, I kind of thought that they were synchronized, which actually makes this a waiting thing. So are they going to line up now? Or did I miss my window? Oh god, this is so frustrating. Okay, now they're together. Oh, maybe I should have gone then. Okay, they're together again. So we want to go. Go, you fucker! Okay. Saving the game. Yeah, I had to click twice to make it actually go the first time, which is very annoying. Just go. Okay. I'm just gonna have to keep. I'm just gonna have to keep doing this. This is so dumb. I liked the hacking in Dragonfall. Like, yeah, it wasn't a standout of the game by any means, but like it was fine. It has some good stuff when they actually do the thing where you're alternating between meat space and cyberspace, and you've got to defend your hacker in meat space because you're getting attacked, and they've got to do stuff like that's cool. Those sequences, there's not very many of them because you can't. It's really complicated and kind of. I mean, it's just like it takes up a lot of time and stuff. But oh yeah, yeah. Oh my. Okay, no, that's where we were, but I don't actually know where we're going right now. And there's not a. So there's another one over. There's at least 3. I guess we can go up to here. I don't know if we can see any better. Oh yeah, we can see that guy. God, so frustrating. Also, you know, your trace doesn't go down, your shit doesn't. So yeah, there's nowhere to actually go in this one. Like you just have to be moving constantly, which is just bad because you can't actually move like that precisely or quickly, so it's just, you know, figure this shit out. It's just a math problem. Okay. Oh, there's one over there. Deciphered spells. Oh, shit. Oh, I have to get back, too. God. Countered blocker ice. I hate that there's a hacking minigame. I don't know how this works. I don't. What? So one, it said I could use the numpad, and my numpad didn't respond. So I had to hit it with the mouse. So that's a thing. Oh my god, this is just infuriating. Oh, I got an achievement for steal pay data from a high security system. Alright, great. Alright, how in the fuck do you do that one? Next time on. Okay, I can come like up to here. Oh my god. Well, you probably have to go around this way. Yeah. You know what? Save first. And the thing is, I have to get out of here. Okay. Wait, what? Did I... I don't really understand. Wild aim. Oh, okay. Oh, it requires spellcasting 5. Well, I guess it's going in the stash. Wow, so... Wait, can I just jack out now? There's nowhere else to go, right? Was this, like, pointless? That's where we came in. So, metaphysically, how is a spell being stored on the server? I don't know. I don't know what a spell consists of in Shadowrun. Is it just instructions? It can't just be instructions, right? Whoops. That's not what I was looking for. What I was looking for is... No. This. I can just leave. Alright, there we go. I don't think a spell is just instructions in Shadowrun. I don't remember. I know Shadowrun has a whole, like, metaphysics of magic and because I know there's all this stuff about, like, what magic does and how it works and what it can do and what it can't do, and it's actually fairly laid out. Do you see that, Duncan? Or Ractor? Yes, I do see it. I don't actually know what a spell is, though. Like, how it... Yeah, how you learn spells and stuff. Also, there's a big old skull there. Oh, I guess we can probably just, like, do this. Fuck! That's not what I meant to do. Get out of combat, please. There we go. Yeah, everything reset immediately here. Oh, that actually would have worked fine. Well, no, it wouldn't, because, yeah, never mind. Okay, so I actually want to use this, rather. Because I want you to do that. And then I want you to, you know, shoot some people. Gargoyle's got more health. It's also got more armor. Or it's got more armor, rather, not more health. I don't know which has more health. Wow. Well, that wasn't great. That was better. I should have shot the other one. I had 95% chance. Hey, buddy. I'm gonna guess it's gonna come to us, though. Nice! That's what you want to see. Well, almost. Who's up? Oh, I'm up front. Shit. Oh, who's that? Oh boy. What? Not okay. What? What? But what do I do? Bad? Let's say this is bad. Who got hit? No, just me. Just me. Fuck. Oh, I can cast aim on the robot now. Wait, no, it just said immune. It just let me cast it and then said it was immune. I was like, oh, that's better than Dragonfall. Oh, hi. You gotta be kidding me. Okay. Like someone needs more body. Look. Fucking hell! I should have gotten heal. What even is like? Oh, fuck. Alright, we really gotta like murder this fucker. Okay, okay, I'm back. I need healing. Shit. Also, I think it moved me. I think it took one of my actions to move me, which was not what I wanted it to do at all, so. You gotta be kidding me. Okay. Wait, what does this thing do? Oh my god. Oh. Oh. Well, that's real neat. Yes, please. Oh, it still says immune. Okay, no, I think it did actually get the aim buff, so that's great. Also, it has grenades? It keeps vital areas to impede resistance. Why is it worse at shooting, like, or why is its melee attack less accuracy than its gunshot? Like at melee range. Ah, hello. At least the robots get. Oh fuck. Well, the robots got a lot of health and armor, so that's good. What? What? Where did these come from? They literally came out of nowhere. Yes, Duncan haste, please. There we go. That's good. Wait. Oh, that only does it for one turn? Oh, it does only give it for one round, okay. That's annoying. The rest of these are not. Well, I guess we can repair it. Maybe we should do that. It only has one attack? Alright, good attack. Yeah, that's a pretty worthwhile heal. Alright, there we go. Now it's gonna AoE us though, yeah. Oh fuck, it reduces AP per round by doing that. Oh no, they're unconscious! And that means his drone is unconscious for no good reason. Jesus. Come on. You need more. We need him. We needs a fucking sniper rifle. Did we not just haste you? We did just haste you. Oh my god. Fucking hell. Great. Great. Great! Why does this deal so little damage? Oh, because he has 4 armor. That's right. And it says no armor penetration. Wait, didn't he have 2 AP a minute ago? Alright, I don't care. Oh, thank God. Alright, so we're all at low health. Pretty sure. 11, 16. Oh, of course Duncan's fine. 15. Who has regenerating shit? Yeah, like you. Okay. Anyone, I guess. Like, use it on yourself, I guess. Wow. So I wasn't done. Okay. Please stop. Okay. Maybe I need some more body. Do you have enough karma? Okay. You got the books. Great. Next you need to head upstairs so I can wipe the security data. Then you're home free. Did you know these creatures were here? No, I planned this run down to the last detail, but those monsters were a happy accident. Great, I'll keep my eyes open for more happy surprises. You do that. Now time's wasting. Security room's at the top of the stairs leading back to the museum floor. Is there more stuff to... No. I want to steal the dragon skull. Seems, Is there really nothing else down here? Found my Shadowrun 3rd edition book. I'm ecstatic to report there's a whole chapter entitled Running the Shadows. Oh my god. Just... Oh, what in the fuck? I like that we just kept running as that guy was appearing. Cadaverous husk materializes in front of you, unfolding like a flower from nothingness into being. It stands in a surprisingly upright posture, and you can see that its ropes were once of fine quality. It raises a hand to block your path. I'm not sure how it's going to do that, considering I'm all the way over here by the exit. Stop! The thing's voice comes out in a hollow rasp. Something about it feels empty. It seems you can move freely through this realm, coming and going, taking what is not yours. What do you want? Ah, woman of action. Good. Creature nods at you, its teeth gleaming. I want out of this tomb. I must free myself from this place. But I cannot leave. My soul is bound to these catacombs, chained to the bones of a life that I no longer possess. So you think I can get you out of here somehow? You can. Slowly, painfully. Nomi inclines its head. It reaches into the folds of its robes and produces a ring of fired porcelain. The creature extends its arm, presenting the object as an offering. Take this talisman and place it among the other artifacts you removed. Once you have moved it beyond the binding threshold of this execution, I will be free. What's in it for me? The sure knowledge that you have done what is right. How do I know that I can trust you? You don't. How could you? But I am a man of my word. I don't know what I don't know what you're saying you'll do. You're gonna have to do better than that. When I am free, I will give you a thing, a token. Crumple it in your hands, and I will come to your aid. But only once. One time, and no more. Mummy's eyeless sockets seem to stare at you through you. Will this be sufficient, human? None of this, I have no context for any of this. I'm just like, we didn't get any explanation of who he is, who they are, or what the hell's going on. This mission is just very, just kind of tossed off. Sure, what the hell? No one had any opinions on that. Alright. But what can you do to help me? Like, can I crumple this token when I need you to do my tax returns? If it's an ancient Chinese bureaucrat, that seems, there's still no... Oh, man, I thought there was going to be, like, stuff on our way back. Stuff is gonna happen. If we're just gonna leave, then that kind of defeats the point. We couldn't find that guy's password to find out whatever secret was in there. We couldn't get any more. We couldn't get up to 10,000 because there's just not enough things here to get it. Like, they must be, however you get it behind that password, that must be how you get it. It's so annoying. Alright, well, I guess we can grab this stuff. I don't know if it matters, but... we might as well go up to 9 out of 10 before we leave. What? We'll wipe the security logs. Oops, forgot. That was what was over here. $30 for replica Utahraptor skull? I'll buy one for that price. 30 new yen. Excuse me. This is the one. Flip the switch in the bottom right, then plug in my data chip. The script will dock to the security logs so you can sneak out. So we can sneak you out. It's executing now. There's a pause. You can hear him clicking his tongue like a metronome. And done. Get out of there. Oh, now is stuff gonna happen? Now is there gonna be a fight? Yep, there it goes. Granted, I don't know if we're gonna get anything out of this still. Buckle up. I thought we were through the first one. Like, buckle up. Whose response is that? Okay, so we have some full cover here. Where's any? Where are these benches? Like, flip them over or something. Half cover. Half cover. Oh, we can't even see him. Okay. Turns out new yen to dollar conversion rate is a contentious issue. Well, it's a different time period, you know. Like, you can't just convert things like that. Should have just gotten here and done that. Oh yeah, I can't even see anything, so I really should have done that. But I guess it doesn't hurt anything. It has one turn cooldown anyway. So where are you gonna go, buddy? You don't have anywhere to go, which is a problem. Alright, for... oh, there, no, that's fine. Alright, half cover's fine. Good enough. Wow. Wow. Let's just do this. Can you can't overwatch yet. Yes, come stand in the open, please. Good. pretty good. God, it's so dumb and really funny. Wait, really? You can't see anything from there? The hell? Do you have, like, poor line of sight? Alright, well, I mean, that was pretty good. Yes, do that, please. God. Nice. Whoa. Oh, you gonna do that? Seems rude. Seems rude. Familiar voice pipes up in your communicator. Change of plans. Search those bodies for a key fob. You'll need it to access the side door. What side door? In the lobby. My program didn't work as well as I expected. I'm monitoring the exits on my cameras, and the HKPF have the front locked down. Since you can't go out the front now, you've got to exit out the side. That key will get you through the locked side door, which will take you out to the east service exit. Great. What? Why am I... There we go. So these are all locked. Oh man, we're cut off from the office. God, what a... Oh, hi. Fuck you! Is the problem that he can't see it? He does not have line of sight. Okay, so he needs to actually move to where he has line of sight. Oh, okay, but what? Who the fuck has med? No, we don't have any med kits left. Okay, great. Of course we don't. Alright, well, I'm alive. Nope. Okay. Just checking there. Yeah, I think you just, like, run the fuck away then? How much health do you have? 10. Alright, bye! Can you now target your drone? You can. Oh, I thought he had 2 actions. Why did he only have 1 action? Or is overclock just 2 actions? I don't fucking know. I was gonna repair him after I did that, but... Oh god. this is an issue. Oh my god! Alright. Well, I mean, that's good. Oh, he just has one action, that's right, while he's just, well, because he's controlling the drone. Alright. Got to kill. Nice. Do that on the drone, I guess. I should have done that beforehand, but... can you haste anyone? You're already hasted. Oh, we can't haste the drone still. Or we just can't see the drone. That actually might be the issue. Sure, I don't know. Give you bonus action. You can't see it. Okay, never mind. That doesn't do anything. Fuck. Alright, well. Is the guy gonna... No, he's literally just gonna stand there. Alright. I mean, if he just wants to stand there, that's fine. I think that that will work for me. Wow. You had 5 rolls at 33%, and you missed all of them? Sure. Renew that. Wow, you hit him. Amazing. I mean, we're not going out there, so... Wow, he reloaded. I was like, what the hell? Did he not do anything? There we go. Okay. I made it. I'm barely alive. Okay. Sure. That was not a very good mission. Your adrenaline wanes as you fly through the subway tunnels on your way back to Hyoi. There isn't much left to do but pick up shards of glass off your clothes and congratulate yourself on one hell of a run. It's just too bad you couldn't keep the looted antiques. By the end, you managed to steal over 5,000 new yen worth of items for your client, a number that will hopefully be reflected in your mission pay. Damage you caused will likely set the museums back development back even farther, not enough to cripple the project, just enough to send a message. But at the end of the day, he still managed to break a lot of exhibits, displays, and even the faces of a few tomb crawlers, the presence of which had conveniently slipped Drake's mind. Surprises aside, you came out on top. Thanks to some quick thinking on Drake's part, you got the books and you got out. 8 karma, wow. Look at all these people who want to talk. Or, could talk. Also, do you guys get a level up yet? I'm assuming not, but... I want to see what they gain at level, like, points they gain at the levels, but I don't get to see. Yes, I know how to claim the payment for my runs. Let me be right back. Go to the bathroom. Okay. Yay. Oh yeah, I could also use armor. That'd be good to buy. Who is Steven Dynamite? Is he the... He's not a drug dealer. Oh, I guess he's just new. He wasn't here. A disheveled man in filthy rags teeters on the sidewalk, wobbling on unsteady legs. His bloodshot eyes dart about desperately, and the acrid sweet odor that wafts off of him buzzes unpleasantly in your nostrils. You okay, man? You have to help me, man. His teeth grind as his grip tightens. His hand feels like a vice. I need your help. Wow. None of these are like, there is no option to be receptive. Say the magic word first? The man yanks you closer. Your eyes are watering from his pungent proximity. Still, you notice that his tattered clothing bears designer logos. Please, please, take handsomely a message from me. Never heard of him. Now, who are you and why are you touching me? I'm Steven Dynamite. Yeah, that's what the thing said. He nods eagerly, desperation in his eyes. A sluggish tongue wipes itself over the cracked skin of his lips. Look, you've got to help me. I've been poisoned. That crap that Lee sold me put bad things in my head. Whenever I close my eyes, I see dark, narrow tunnels, so many, hands grabbing, razor-sharp teeth gnawing, and the children. Bad things in your head? Talking about hallucinations? Sounds like maybe our dreams. Junkie stares into space. A faint trickle of saliva makes his way down his chin. No, not exactly. More like nightmares. They feel very real. Teeth biting, faces I knew. His trembling voice trails off. You know, the whole nightmare thing has been going around. It isn't just you. No, this isn't that. I'm telling you, I was poisoned. I know it. Alright, I'll do what I can. Tell Lee what he's done to me, that I need relief. Tell him that I want... Sentence trails off. What do you want? I want my money back. His reedy voice wavers, but he stops and says no more. Poisoned nightmares, money back. Got it. Anything else? Just please come back, and please... You still didn't tell me who he was. Or where. Also, we didn't even get an optional objective. What's up, Spider Shen? Spider Shen. Spider Shen. Shen is busily counting out cred sticks as you approach. Shen's hands move quickly, fingers deftly sorting them into small plastic bins. Labels on the bins bear names. Steel Arm Lu, Grandfather Woe, Lucky Ping, and Kindly Cheng. Shen's eyes flicker up at you for a fraction of a second before returning to the task. One moment, I'll be done shortly. A few last flicks of the wrist to see the final cred sticks sorted into their respective bins, with the lion's share going to Kindly and Steel Arm Lu. There, now what can I do for you? Pay a lot of dues, the Yellow Lotus? Shen shrugs, obviously indifferent to the amount the shop's being taxed. I do, but that's how the system works. I pay kindly for rent. Steel Arm Lu gets money because he's my superior. Lucky Ping receives a finder's fee for goods she sends my way. Then Grandfather Woe took me in. He gets paid because he's family, and I owe him for getting me off the streets. You join the organization, you have to pay the dues. It's the same as anywhere else. Beats the hell out of being homeless in Kowloon. Kowloon. Still don't know how to say a lot of these words. Stuffing the boxes away below the counter, Shen produces a box of assorted needles and inks and begins cataloging them on a battered PDA. I just realized I don't remember about the first conversation, but in this conversation they have not used any pronouns for Shen. You don't mind paying? Not really. Grandfather Woe saved my life by taking me in, you know. Life expectancy for homeless kids in Aberdeen isn't very good. Because of him, I have skills and friends who will pay to make use of them. It's a good life, all things considered. Shen leans back against a stack of cages, causing the snakes within to hiss and stamp at the gas. I'm just a blue lantern, foot soldier. I answer to White Ming, who I studied with on the Wudang Mountain. He's the 49er, the made man who runs our crew. I don't pay him because he takes his own cut of what we make. I have no money. Who's that? Oh, a smuggler. Two men in dirty synth leather jackets look up from their conversation as you approach. Guys, you don't need to invent a new word for fake leather. We already have fake leather. They both look haggard, their shoulders slump with exhaustion, and neither appears to have shaved this morning. What do you want, woman? We're talking here. I'm new in town. Figured I'd pay to make all the connections I can. Grim chuckle rumbles out of him. You chose the wrong day, stranger. We're moving farther downstream, and we're doing it today. There's something wrong with this place. Too many bad dreams. I know what you mean. Man blinks. Expression shifts from guarded to curious. But synth leather sounds better. Low orbital beetle. It just kind of sounds like how, you know, you're putting space in front of everything in a sci-fi, you know, space show or something. It's just synth everything. Did you dream it too? The long corridor and the thing with the ivory crown? Yeah. Licks his lips, nodding. Lots of people in town dreamed it. Something like it. The folks I've talked to, there was a bunch of different versions. Some people turned away from the corridor, went down alleys, that kind of thing. Never even set foot in the walled city before, stranger. So tell me, why the hell am I dreaming about it all of a sudden? I don't even know what the damn thing looks like on the inside. I think there's something strange going on. Something magical. The walled city is where it's coming from. Grunts. It's a curse. Nothing else it could be. Everyone knows that place is haunted. A living hell full of evil spirits and poison chi. If you're not careful, you'll wind up trapped inside there with the rest of the human garbage. My toothbrush has synth fiber bristles. His companion cuts in. Catch a healthy whiff of alcohol in his breath. That isn't going to happen to us. No way. Only the lowest of the low wind up in the walled city. So like he said, we're going further downstream. As soon as our things are past, we're out of here. Damn right. This place is a dump anyway. Let's try our luck in Macau. To hell with this place. Best of luck to you. We could say the same to you. You're staying here in Hioi after all. Of the three of us, you're the one who's most likely to need it. What a nice smuggler. Sure. Let's go talk to what's her face. We were asking her to do research on dreams anyway. Crafty Shoe. Hey there. Still don't know anything about the dreams, I'm afraid. Working on it though. Alright, she doesn't have any more dialogue. We should probably buy some clothes when we get money. We should just come back here when we get money. Sailor. Okay, let's talk to these guys again. Playing their game. Why, if it isn't the young one from before. Jin glances up at you, then returns to the game. Bah, can't you see we're busy? Shu shakes his head at his friend. Never mind him. Is there something else you need? Apparently not. Just gonna ask what's going on. Nope. The side of Matthew's trailer looks freshly scrubbed, reeks of kerosene. Broad swaths of the flaking paint have been removed, revealing the brittle plastic siding, discolored by years of acid rain. You can still see the faded black traces of erased graffiti. It reads, Job Stealer. Something thumps inside the trailer. You could easily peer in one of the windows. Look in the window! This couldn't be a bad idea at all. Inside are dingy, cramped living quarters, cluttered with broken drones and unwashed dishes. What looks like a rumpled, motley-colored shag carpet is heaped over half the tiny space, obscuring most of the furniture. After a moment, the shag carpet moves. It rises about a foot and surges slightly toward the window. Then it stops, pulsing and fidgeting. It's hard to see clearly through the built-up grime on the window. Nothing could go wrong. Wipe the window. The carpet is actually plush-covered drones. Teddy bears, raccoons, little dolls. There must be 24 inside the caravan, all companionship models. They're all looking at you, as if they realize you're not Matthew. They watch, fidgeting. Then in one coordinated motion, they all lie down and go dormant again. Oh, well, that was fine. Reliable Matthew greets you with an expansive grin, sweeping his arms wide. To what do I owe the unexpected pleasure? Why, you're not here for some robotics, are you? Well, shucks. He rolls his shoulders ostentatiously and sticks his cigarillo casually between his teeth. His eyes have a strained, bloodshot look. Looks like someone vandalized your trailer. What? You mean the paint? It's just some neighborhood kids. Good kids having a lark. I nearly fell over laughing when I saw it this morning. How do people in Huey feel about drones? How do people here feel about drones? Why, they love them. Just about every household that can afford drones has drones. You sure you don't want to try out this little UC2 Tarantula? It's a great entry-level personal assistant. While Matthew smiles widely, but the edge of his mouth twitches uncomfortably. Drones free people to take skilled jobs. They make the economy more efficient, and drones give poor people services they could never afford otherwise. What exactly are the drones you sell used for? Just about everything. They're helpers to metahumans in all sorts of useful ways. Drones cook, clean, carry messages, lift heavy loads, tend to delicate tasks. Why, drones can even care for the infirm and provide companionship to children. Matthew taps his temple with his finger, meaningfully. Oh my god, he's memeing! Think about it, beautiful. All the boring, dangerous, painful jobs people used to do. The jobs that drones do now. Glanced around at Huey and up at the walled city looming above. Despite his bright eyes and gleaming smile, his voice sounds almost thoughtful. Because of mechanization, we don't force workers to breathe as many chemicals in the refineries. We don't make teenage girls pick silk cocoons out of boiling water. Not anymore. Drones help us. Shakes his passing air of seriousness, clamps his cigarette in his teeth, thrusts his hands in his pockets. There's something else, ain't they? Why would someone call you a job stealer? I mean, I think we already explained this, but... No idea! Drones are job makers! Waggles a cigarette at you. I know what you're thinking. I think it myself. Drones take jobs. Well, medicine takes jobs from undertakers, and sewer drones take jobs from people who used to crawl through filth to feed their families. He holds his hand somewhere over his heart, and his voice deepens. When you see a drone messenger or maid, it's easy to think, that used to be a person. Could be, could be. But that person can do another job now, and they can have a drone themselves. Everyone is better off. Why? Matthew's voice rises. His smile wrinkles painfully around the edges as he carries on enthusiastically. The same people who call drone dealers job stealers often themselves come to me for... Matthew suddenly shuts up. His smile gets even more waxy. Hey, let's not all get a wound up with this stuff. It's too cheery a day for running off on our heads. You're right, Matthew. The problem isn't the drones, it's capitalism. Wow, just smell that brisk spring air. He inhales deeply through his nose, drawing in the fetid reek of the polluted river, the sodden heat of monsoon season. This topic is fascinating, really fascinating, but I've got to get back to work. Shall we walk the lot? Oh, yes, let's please walk the lot. I notice you have a lot of drones in your trailer. While Matthew smiles serenely at you. Drones in the trailer? Oh, I think I have a couple in there. Probably ones I'm fixing. Looks like a full playpen to me. Matthew shrugs uncomfortably. Funny thing about drones. When you see a few, they always look like so many more. Weirdest thing. Strange little fellas. Let's not talk about maintenance. It's boring. I bet there's something you need today. Incredible bargains, huh? They fall off the back of a truck? Are you implying that they're stolen? If so, you are mistaken. He smiles indulgently as you just said something in an alien language. This merchandise is provided only by trusted suppliers who certify the authenticity and workability of their goods. I don't purchase manufacturer's certificates, but all the providers are really top shelf guys, really beautiful people. Otherwise, I wouldn't carry their drones. Where do these trusted suppliers get them? Where do Fawn's prawns and soy chips come from? Or Lucy's lovely textiles? Or the electricity for the lights? All of Matthew sweeps his arm expansively at the heavens, trailing a stream of blue cigarette smoke. Where do we get this glorious bluebird sky? Matthew takes a big breath, staring rapturously at the gray clouds. He looks back down at you, his expression goes flat, shrugs limply, and speaks in a monotone for a moment. They're smugglers and fences. I don't know where they get their drones. Can I be a supplier if I have a spare drone? Well, it's a very exclusive process. You need to be a member of the community in good standing, have good references, and pass a background check. He smiles widely, his eyes seem to switch over nervously. Or if all you have is the drone, I can work with you. Sounds good to me. I don't need any drones right now, but... Or probably ever, to be honest. Because, what's his name? It's like Ratchet? Ratchet, I don't remember what the fuck his name is. I don't think he gets more drone slots that won't be filled. He probably doesn't get more drone slots at all. Oh, that's handsomely. Three people, possibly locals, are busily hunched over, avidly discussing something beneath their breath. From the looks of them, they appear to be sailors. Rough-hewn clothes, stained by salt, leathery skin, and acute awareness of being on land. You watch their feet shuffle awkwardly on the docks. Their whispers are just within earshot. Now, I asked Crafty, and she said the same. Them dreams is bad. Think we'll lose them at sea? We're supposed to set out soon to make that delivery. What if they follow us? See the man shudder. I don't think so. Crafty said these things are just affecting right here for now. First sailor points to the ground. As soon as we sail, dreams will stop. Hey! The third sailor sees you and taps her friends on the arms. They shoot upright. One examines his fingernails, another coughs loudly and begins to hum. The last pretends she didn't see you, but when they sense your continued stare, the third speaks up. What are you looking at, Landy? There's a boat here with a merchant selling goods not too long ago. You leave? Three sailors' suspicions turn to smirks. One snickers to himself. Merchant, she says. That crook didn't so much as leave, as he was chased off by Kindly. No sales permit. Not a big loss, though. The local shops have way better stuff than that small-time hustler. Why don't you look around? You'll find the shop owners here more friendly toward you now that you've gotten okay from Kindly. Thanks for the tip. They all exchange a look. The first sailor responds. Right. Stay careful around these parts. I overheard you talking about the dreams. I've had them too. I feel an uneasiness past the sailors. Seems anyone who comes to these parts is having them. As soon as they leave, the dreams stop. Right eerie it is. Any leads on why they're happening? We don't know much ourselves. Only just returned from our last delivery, but the dreams ambushed us fast enough. Hey, what about that crafty? Silas turns to you. She runs the 5 phases. Smart girl. Might know a thing or two about this blight. You ask her, and she may have something more to say. We already talked to her. Alright, so there's Handsome Lee. Here's our boy, Maximum Law. Maximum Law surveys the docks from beneath his meticulously patched tarpaulin. Goggled and belted with electronics, his arms folded, his expression stern, a sweat-drenched little king. His boat rocks gently. As you approach, he looks sharply your way, and breaks into an awkward smile. Hey, I was hoping you'd come around. You got a minute? What's up? Kindly add Wampoa burn your sin. Word is you're doing work for her, not normal Yellow Lotus stuff. Law shifts from foot to foot. He fidgets with the hardware on his belt. Shadow running. Maybe, maybe not. What about it? I get it. Well, I didn't. I get it. Well, I didn't hear anything about it. Law smiles lightly like a conspirator. Listen, if you got info about runs, I can make it worth something. We Wampoans call that kind of thing metadata. Wampoa likes to get the word on the street from the active operators. Doesn't Wampoa's service to their clientele include not prying? It's not prying. Law speaks with authority, thrusts his chest out, puts his hands on his hips. It's gathering information. The world runs on information. If you got metadata for me, great. If not, see if I care. Law looks out through the rain across the rocking boat, wipes his foggy goggle lenses with a rag from his pocket. His stomach gurgles loudly. Augmented reality goggles aside, this gig gets really boring sometimes. You ever want to talk shop? I'm here. Tell me about Wampoa. We're pretty much the best, yo. What do you want to know? Law folds his arms impatiently, as if he's irritated by your request, but he can't stifle a proud grin. Just tell me about the tribe generally. Who are you guys? Law smirks. You really are new to the Kong, aren't you? We're the Neo Matrix Collective. We run the Hong Kong Data Haven and the Kong Shadow Nets. We are the Kong Shadow Nets. Outside the corporate nets is the rest of the Kong, and in those shadows that you're running, you'll find threads of golden light like a vast spider web that carry information. Those golden threads and that web is Wampoa. Law gives a curt, virile nod. My buddy Red Storm wrote that. Pretty wicked, huh? I hope he says, my buddy R3D capital ST0RM. Anyway, we're bleeding edge on the path to the singularity. We're doing things no one else is doing anywhere, except maybe Denver or Tokyo. Denver? What the fuck's in Denver in Shadowrun? Our homeland is the Matrix. We're building a society of truth and expertise and information. You seem very outspoken, less modest than many Hong Kongers. Is that tribal? I am more outspoken, yo. I don't need the meat space rituals. Modesty is inefficient. He shrugged dismissively. Is that a Wampoan thing? For those of us who are the most dialed, maybe. We're post-cultural. Law sweeps his hand around, gesturing at the surroundings. I hardly see any of this meat space. Our meat space headquarters is a big 20th century ship. It's totally awesome. Whatever. It's just meat space. This guy is such a... I just want to see him pull out his Soylent and start downing it. Wampoa is bleeding edge on the path to becoming singularity. In this singularity, there's gonna be nothing but straight up truth. Law punches his fist down to the ground, striking a majestic pose like a Tridio barbarian. God, I forgot about Tridio. It's like video, but try. Boom! Truth. I understand someone's killing your elders. His face goes grim. Red light blinks on the VR goggles. Lens whirs quietly, focusing in on you. Grinds his teeth audibly, radiating nervousness and intensity. Yeah, shit's crazy. Full on medieval. I Can't talk about it. It's a tribal matter. Controlled information, right? We're gonna solve it. That's all outsiders need to know. Actually, I've been contracted to help the elders stop the murders. Wow, really? We're pulling in outsiders? Shakes his head in disbelief. Well, I should have seen that coming. What the hell are you doing here? Go to the guard and help stop that ship. Then come back and tell me what's going on. Everybody's guessing. Elders are being quiet. And the rumor hub is going crazy. Outsiders don't really understand us. Maybe you can, if you're really smart. We're in a whole different world than most people. Like, I'm seeing 3 streaming videos and live network stats in my goggles right now. You probably have to ask him about his goggles. I do not need any of this. Oops. It's not VR, it's augmented reality. We're pioneering it. Little cameras, matrix overlay. I can support a 3-dimensional HUD and sub windows with live multiple feeds. I've got a command shell open right now. I'm networked with 5 guys. Lon taps his goggles. Wave of the future. Augmented reality? I hear a lot of corps are experimenting with it, but not in such a socially invasive way. Yeah, Shiwaze, Fuchu, Renraku, a couple others. Law waves his hand dismissively. Some of us don't know what they're doing. Their whole approach is flawed. They won't get anywhere. Sounds like you're on it. We are. Law says it with supreme confidence. A statement of perfect fact. Boom! Gotta go? Okay, watch your back and shoot straight and all. Law grins at you and dexterously flashes a hand sign the Shadowrunners give each other in holovid shows. I got things to do, too. God. What a dude. Let's go up here and go into our things up here. I guess we can talk to this guy. I don't think he has anything to say, though. The young troll bouncer manning the door is in the midst of patting down a prospective patron with enough force to dislocate his shoulder or hip, while their shady-looking patrons walk idly past him into the club. He waves the shaken man inside, propelling him forward with a final pat on the back. People don't realize that you gotta check for internal weapons as well as external ones. And you know how to do that? Are we talking the rubber glove treatment? No, nothing so crude. You just need the right technique. Matter of fact, I caught a guy last week with a phosphorus grenade in his leg compartment. And what did you do? Disarmed him, of course. Got it back behind the bar now. I'm gonna blow it off in the river. Impress some girls. You looking for a pat down yourself? Are you getting fresh with me? Sure. Ah, you're alright. You need anything, you let me know. Why are you searching some people and letting others in? This is a private club. There's 3 kinds of people I let in. Members, guests of members, and people who make a good case. The latter 2 get a really good search before they go in the door, unless they're with Kindly Chang or the Emperor of Japan or something. I don't care if someone has a cyber spur, a holdout pistol, or whatever, but we can't have serious weapons on non-members inside. Ma sells some big stuff, but she puts electronic trigger locks on her merchandise till they're out the door, so people don't get dumb ideas. This is a no assassination safe zone. Serious weapons go into the weapons check, unless you're a member. That way, if a big firefight ever breaks out, the members will have the upper hand. Keep the killings very rare. Most happen when some members get all fired up and decide to settle scores with box cutters or something. So I'm a member now? You work for Kindly, as a Shadowrunner no less. That makes you a member. Remember the rules. No fighting, unless, it comes down to that. You're ready to skip off the concrete. No killing either. You got legitimate killing business, go do it somewhere else. People come here to have a good time. Got it. Good. You running any business on the side? Nah, I may take the occasional payment to look the other way or be in the can when a fight breaks out. But I have enough on my plate that I can't really take on much else. Training, you see. I love what I do, but you gotta work hard to stay in peak condition. I've also got some next steps in mind, so I'm working even harder toward that. Big plans. You just wait and see. I also play the drums. Makes a mean souffle. Aw, that's cute. A wiry elven woman leans over the bar, propped up on one elbow. She glances back at you over her shoulder as you approach, lifting a half-empty glass to her lips. I don't know that I would, at least from her face, I would not necessarily describe her as wiry, but... The selection here is total crap, but it's cheap. Hope you're not looking for quality or you're going to be really disappointed. Alright, what's wrong with my mouse? There we go. How cheap is... let's continue being snarky. I was hoping for some classy cocktails. Woman snorts and dips her pinky into her drink to fish out a stray gnat. If you ask real nice, I think they got some tonic water in the fridge. Aside from that, you're as likely to get drain cleaner as you are a splash of bitters. Even a simple Manhattan's probably beyond the means of this joint. Call me X-Flow, by the way. X-Flow regards you calmly, her eyes calculating. After a few seconds, she nods. Maybe we can help each other. How do you mean? I've got good eyes for people in the business, and believe me, you smell like Shadowrunners and New Yen. Plus, everybody here has been talking about Kindly's new hired help. I'm out here for work. You need any backup? I'm available. What's your specialty? I'm what the eggheads call a mystic adept. Kind of a physical adept magician. I throw spells and I can kill with a touch. I'm rarer than unicorns, my friend. Exo lifts her glass, draining the last of it. Cheers. So this is our, feels like a fairly direct equivalent to that one runner in Dragonfall who was in the bar, except that she was always hostile to us, but we could hire her for missions anyway. She was cool. Where are you from, anyway? All over, really. Born and raised in Sydney, but ever since I was 15, I've been traveling anywhere there's work. Not a whole lot of opportunities for a street kid whose only skills relate to beating people up. Lived in Paris, London, Vladivostok, Caracas. Hell, I even spent a year in Johannesburg, but Azania is full of assholes. Your Cantonese is pretty good. I don't hear an accent. X-Flow taps the base of her neck with 2 fingers. That's because it's chipped. My only concession is cyberware. When you move around as much as I do, linguists pay for themselves pretty quickly. They're not perfect, but they get the job done. How'd you get into this life? I grew up on the streets, running with gangs. Turns out if you get enough street fights and have magical potential, things just naturally express themselves. Once that happened, I realized I could charge a lot more than the protection rackets I'd been running. Besides, it's not like I knew how to do anything else. I've never been to school. I'm sinless. What else am I gonna do? Panhandle for change? Shake down stuffer shacks for beer money? No thanks, mate. Rather life fast, hit hard. Live fast, hit hard, and burn out. Got any good runner stories? Running hand through her hair, X-Flow leans back as she thinks. Yeah, I got a couple. There was this one time I signed on with some mercs in Eastern Europe. I had a job to do near Krasnodarsky Krai, lifting some Abkhazian military software. Plan is pretty simple. Halo jump from a drone on the Russian side of the border, hike in toward the Abkhazian research facility, blast our way in. The Abkhaz forces are supposed to be Matrix hotshots, but crap in ground combat. Simple, right? That sounds, yeah, very simple. The elf shakes her head, eyes rolling. No plan ever survives first contact with the enemy, though. Turns out the Abkhazian army had contracted out base security to Winter Systems. We started getting cut apart before we'd even breached the first cordon. Sounds like a suicide mission. The mercs were in pretty dire states financially. It was a do-or-die situation for them, literally. They owed too many debts, and if they couldn't deliver, they'd have been killed. So we pushed in. We were down to 5 of us by the time we got into the main facility. One of the mercs, Vaclav, was a rigger. We were hunkered down in a vehicle bay while the decker did his business, and Vaclav realized one of the APCs hadn't been properly locked down. And it was still gassed up. Came out of that base with a 30mm cannon blazing away. Our exit was down at the coast. Riverine patrol boat the mercs had on standby. It was some nervous fighting, but we managed to get out. Bit full of holes, sure, but we survived, and that's what counts, eh? See you later, Explo. Explo lifts her glass and salute. See ya. You know how to find me if you need me. I will not need you, because you are someone that punches things in a world based on guns. The Troll Patriarch of Club 88 gently polishes a collection of old wooden belaying pins. These are but a few of the nautical touches that struggle vainly to assert their theme against the club's otherwise glassy neopunk decor. Back again. Not just another ship passing in the night, eh? I'm just a landlubber. Reckon you're not? You reckon rightly, though I haven't been on the water in far too long. Sounds like you miss it. Do I not strike you as the king of island nightlife? Take the man out of the ocean, but not the ocean out of the man. Ain't that the truth? So how can I help you? Why the change of vocation? Why does a man give up drinking, or sell his strike, or throw out his porn collection? For a woman, of course. And I had me one hell of a woman. Still do. This place was her dream. Business, a home, for us together. Hard to deny the worth in that, no matter how much I miss what I once had. No ma'am, no regrets. No regrets at all. What was it like out on the high seas? Better when I was younger. Things were simpler then, if not terribly profitable. Got my start on fishing trawlers, just barely scraping by. Good folk, though. Over the years, I made a name for myself, as one does. Got more regular work on better crews. Eventually earned a spot on a tugboat. Spent the bulk of my years crewing ocean-going tugs for Wuxing. The big ships, the tankers, the bulkers, the container ships, the seabed miners, are all run by technical cruise computers now. Smaller merchant boats, there's still a little seafaring left, but not much. But on the tugs, the supply boats, the salvage craft, that's where there's still a place for old-time sailors. It matters if you can wrap a cable on the winch in 30-foot seas, jury-rig a diesel engine, and keep a boat on course with just the wheel and the binnacle after the bridge windows all blow out. It was a hard life, but good. Alright. Eldest son of the Kai family appears to be far less inebriated than before, though there's still a drink clutched in his massive hand. He's parting ways with an uncharacteristically awkward elf, palms something as she goes. Evening. Calum Cafe Phi at your service. You forget me already. Maybe I have. I suppose one of us didn't make much of an impression. I think I liked you better when you were plastered. Well, here's to becoming a better man in your eyes. Takes a drink. Now, you into the market for something? I got Bliss, Jazz, Cram, Nitro, and a dozen other little concoctions that in the West didn't have names for yet. What'll it be? How many shots does it take to lay out someone your size? I'll let you know if it ever happens. I'd like to know a little more about you. Me? Why would you want to know about me? I'm nothing. I sling poison on the dregs of Hyoi. It's not like I ever wanted anything more than this, right? I can see it on your face. You probably see it all over mine. What good would an education serve someone like me? Why would I ever consider making something of myself? Go places? Sure, I can fill out a suit like nobody's business, but people see a troll in Armani like they see an organ grider's monkey. No, this is the place for me. This is where I belong. Wow. That's depressing with no response available. Thank you, please. Let's go talk to the gun runner. Ermine. Doesn't take a Shadowrunner's eye to tell who runs Club 88. Even the rough patrons showed deference to the troll woman in the back. It also helps that she tends a veritable arsenal of high-grade firearms. Back again, I see. Didn't catch your name before. Well, to my friends, I'm Cade Wolf. Would you like to be my friend? Better than the alternative. I'm Ermine Ka Phi. We get a lot of passers through. I was expecting that door to lead to the rest of the club. Oh, no, it's a very small club. I assume that, like, fictionally there must be multiple levels to the club, because otherwise it's, like, literally, like, it's very tiny. After their business with the dockmen or the Yellow Lotus, they get escorted here to relax and shop, then they leave. I'm happy to never know their names, but you're a different story, aren't you? What have you heard? Not much, yet. So what can I do for you? Have you heard of a man named Raymond Black? I seem to recall a blurb on the news, but I didn't pay much attention. Not a name I know, and if it was a name worth knowing, I would know it. Tell me a bit more about this place. Club 88? We bought it 10 years ago. I assume you're not Nazis, I hope. Before that, my husband crewed ships for Wuxing. He'd be gone for weeks, sometimes months at a time. I was sick of it. Raising 2 boys of my own? Troll boys? Pah. We needed something more stable, and I needed a husband at home. So he retired, and we put everything we had saved in his place. 88 stands for good fortune, and the club is proven worthy of the name. Okay, that's... Yeah, I guess if, yeah, you're Chinese, then that's fair. If only some people appreciated that success, instead of whining about things that will never be. Oh! Had the rest of the family there. So I do want to buy a sniper rifle for Duncan. Wait, yes. I was like, is that his name? For goggles. When I get money, so remember to come back and get that. I guess I should have just gone to the mission computer first and gotten the money, but let's go talk to Fun Guy. 10-armed Ambrose. Hey, my fellow countrywoman returns. You want some chips and dip? Help yourself, it's on the engine block. Spider drone walks past you carrying a biohazard bag with a severed arm in it. There's a big Sahara Combat League race tonight. Everybody's coming over. You want to come? No, I bet Conley's keeping you busy. You're from the UCAS Midwest. How'd you land in Hong Kong? Ambrose bites one of his nails, regards you with a hint of suspicion. Well, that's a long story, and kind of personal. It involves some jobs, a girl, real good reason to leave Chicago. A whole shit ton of guns and money. Are you following the news of the quarantine? Ambrose's face darkens. Yeah, I am. It's a terrible thing that just happened there. My old hood is inside the containment zone. A lot of good peeps locked behind that wall. I read the postings on your wall, the ones about bug spirits. Yeah, some of the leaked material is pretty convincing. Ambrose shakes his head sadly. Megavitus plague, bug spirits. I'm not sure which is more scary. Hell, maybe it's The Walking Dead. Think about it. We've got at least 4 HMHVV variants. I think it's only a matter of time until we get zombies. Ambrose gives a nervous shiver. I mean, we were fighting zombies last mission. The nearby robotic arms trouble briefly. I take zombies over these bug spirit things, tell you what. Yeah, bug spirits that run Scientology. CF Shadowrun returns, or, you know, don't really, because it's not good. It's not very good. Girl was involved in getting you here, huh? Yeah, there was. He shrugs awkwardly as if to make light of it. His voice has a hint of strain in it. That's a story for another day. Guns and money were involved. Sounds like a good story. Shadowrunning? Yeah, stuff like that. Ambrose smiles. Seems to warm up a little. I was a hardcore vehicle rigger back then, before Johnny Law cracked down on road rigs. I think, is that a reference to a rules change, like an edition change, I think? Um, I remember something about how, like, the thing about in early Shadowrun, I don't remember how they changed this, but it was like, if you had a rigger, the best place for the rigger would be where they would just sit in the getaway vehicle because they didn't actually need to be there. Those were the cowboy days. Freaky as hell, but great to remember. Ambrose gets a wistful look on his face. We'd rebuild trucks and chop shops, reinforce the frames, bolt armor on, mount suspension with robotics, drive them right through the front windows of buildings, and bash aside Lone Star cruisers on the way out. Good times. Man, where's the game where we do that? Do that in Hong Kong, get auto barricades and a missile enema. Crying shame. Anyway, I needed to get out of Chi-Town. Spread my legs. Nearby spider drone fidgets. You know how that goes. Hong Kong seems like a long way to go just to get a break from Chicago. Ambrose smiles, but there's a steel look in his eyes. Sometimes a guy just needs a change of scene. Hey, it's grand digging up the wreckage of the past, but time's wasted. I left Chicago, I landed in the Kong. After a while running the Kong shadows, I landed here, Chrome Alley. That's really the gist of it. Now we better get back to earning a living. Medical supplies? I don't need any of those. Okay, so I guess we can go talk to some of these other people that we haven't. Diamond says, I'll be 100% honest. I'm sitting here with the Shadowrun book. I have read it cover to cover, except for the vehicle rear section. It looks painful. I'm impressed you read all the Matrix stuff, but not the vehicle rigger section. So there's this guy. I was trying to remember what else we haven't. I guess we just haven't gone into the Mahjong parlor. I guess let's just do that. Is that just kindly, though? It is just kindly. Well, I don't think we need to bother her. Okay. It's muggy out, even for Hyoi in monsoon season. You pause to mop your brow. Suddenly you feel eyes upon you. As you glance up, you meet the tranquil, searching gaze of a man half hidden in the shadows. Yeah, half hidden in the shadows. He's wearing a crisp white-tailored shirt, shirtless sleeves neatly rolled, and a dark gray silk tie and smart black trousers. If he's sweating, you don't see it. The man tilts his head ever so slightly in greeting. A newcomer. Welcome. He flashes you a brilliant smile, his eyes glinting with amusement. You can just barely detect a faint trace of an accent in his voice. Handsome Lee's the name, purveyor of enhanced sensory experiences. I can see that you've got some tales to tell. You're not from around here, are you? A smile flickers briefly. He's got a decent poker face, but you can see that he's rattled. And, why do you ask? I think it's still got an accent, Lee. It's barely there, but I can hear it. Ah, he fidgets uncomfortably. You're right, I'm not from Hyoi. Keep going. I was born in Taiwan. I was forced to flee during the Nationalist War. I hear you have a slight accent as well. Seattle? Emphasis on the slight. The corner of his lip curls up smugly. It's your move, apparently. Niet. Rasky. Good guess. Redmond Barrens. Handsome Lee suddenly fixes you with his gaze, sizing you up. His face is impassible. Nasty place. Where exactly did you grow up then? Taipei, but I'd rather not get into it at the moment. I'm sure you have more important things to do than listen to my life story. Let's discuss business, eh? I am a businessman, after all. So how about it, friend? He opens his jacket, revealing a myriad of small, bulging pockets sewn in the interior lining. Can I show you my wares? Just slightly different. Antidepressant increases willpower. Huh. It's an interesting interpretation. Enjoy that. I mean it. Anything else I can do for you, my friend? I ran into someone with a message for you. Handsome Lee beckons you closer with a languid gesture. I think I can guess. Stephen Dynamite. Coolly raises an eyebrow at you. Hi, Dio. Come on. What are you doing? What are you doing? You just gonna sit in front of my face? What are you doing? Oh, okay. Bye. You're so smart. Can you guess what the message is? From an avid consumer like Steven, there's only one possible message. More. Actually, there are two possible messages. The second one goes, my dealer poisoned me. Smile broadens. With a myriad of drugs that Steven filters through his system, it's almost an honor to be singled out this way. That said, I seriously doubt that I poisoned him. Go ahead, though. Tell me what he wants. What do you think? He wants his new yen back. Straightens abruptly from his elegant slouch and juts his chin out. There was absolutely nothing wrong with my latest creation. It was painstakingly designed to elevate the senses and titillate the spirit, a smooth high that I have indulged in myself. Now, if the unfortunate Stephen happened to dilute my masterpiece with other lesser substances, I can hardly be held responsible. His tone of finality is unmistakable. Wow, none of the okay. I guess we're pushing him. You could use all the flowery language you want. I'm not leaving here empty-handed. He stares at you for a long moment, then reaches into his breast pocket. With a deft motion, he pulls out a small packet and presents it to you. There is no money. Not anymore. I have expenses, just as I'm sure you do. But here, give Stephen with my regards. What's in the package? A freebie. It's what our dear Stephen Dynamite really wants, whether he'll admit it or not. Deliver it with my compliments. And this freebie of yours, is supposed to cure his nightmares? The dealer regards you steadily. Of course not, but it will bring relief, and I'm not mistaken. That's what Stephen is itching for right about now, correct? What gives this temporary fix anyhow? Why bother? Lee acknowledges with a nod. It's a fair question. Stephen's problems won't be resolved overnight. My little gift simply lets him know that someone cares. His smile widens and he tilts his head towards you expectantly. The hell it does. It keeps him from getting clean. Lee shrugs dismissively. I seriously doubt that my withholding drugs from Stephen would do anything but hurt my pocketbook. He's not trying to kick his Babbitt. You just go to another dealer, so why shouldn't I foster my relationship with the poor man? Anyway, holds the packet out towards you and gives a shake. Take this, give it to him. It should help him at least in the short term. Okay, I guess this game the writing is very, like, limited so far. At least in these side interactions and these less important missions. Like, why is it so, there's very little ways to, like, there's just a lot of these dialogues that are just different ways of saying the same thing rather than actually different options. Stephen Dynamite lolls on the sidewalk. While he jerks less as he moves, his skin has taken on a gray hue and his chest heaves with each labored breath. Sunken eyes stool towards you. He wets his parched lip and addresses you. Hello, I'm relieved to see you. Thought you might not return. Can't trust anyone. This is a bad place. Hey, Steve, I hate to say it, but you're not looking so hot. Fat tears begin to cascade down his dirty, ruined face. I don't want to sleep because of these nightmares. I'm ravenous, so ravenous, but food makes me ill. I've got the shakes real bad, too. I just want this to end. The junkie slumps in place. Furrowing his brow, he responds with difficulty. Anyway, thanks for talking to that little bastard for me. So, you got my money? Yeah, we don't have any other option here? Well, you didn't have your money. He gave me this to pass off to you instead. Junkie's eyes light up at the sight of the packet from Handsome Lee. Oh. Okay, now we actually... Well, these are all the same thing, basically, still. Just to warn you, it's the exact same stuff that you thought was poison. Man waves his hand dismissively. I must have been delirious or high at the time. Give it to me. Are you sure? One last hit. That's all I need to get by. I mean, he's gonna die regardless. It's the thing. That's what's frustrating. It's fine. He eagerly snatches the packet of bliss from your hand, his eyes lighting up with excitement. Before you take that, I want to ask you about your dreams. I do? He looks up at you, suddenly suspicious. You want to ask about my dreams? Why? Because I've been having bad dreams too. Maybe we can get to the bottom of them together. He stares you in the eye and his voice drops to a sharp whisper. These aren't like ordinary dreams. They're visions. They're so real. I've put all kinds of substances into my body, and I've never experienced anything like this. You were practically raving the last time we talked. Explain your dreams to me again clearly this time. Nods, though his tongue stumbles and stalls as he speaks. I'm walking through a series of dark, narrow halls. It stinks to high heaven, and I run into more and more people as I move forward. The people are jostling me, but I'm starving, like I haven't eaten for days. I just want some food, so I press on. I start seeing children in the crowd. Children with terrible burns, disfigured faces. All these people are grabbing at me. Begins to tremble from head to foot and his eyes bulge. Then I see teeth all around me. I feel the teeth on me. Bathed in sweat from the effort of his speaking, he cradles his head in his arms. Okay, Steve, let's talk about the drugs. You said that you're on a lot of them, right? Junkie gives you a weary smile. More than I can count. I used to get like kicks from explosives. I loved blowing stuff up. Seeing glass splintering, solid walls disintegrating, flames licking the sky. Not anymore. Now I stick to needles and pills. Hang on, you blew stuff up? I was a bomb maker. I designed custom ordnance. It was my dream job. Plus, it was very lucrative. He rubs his thumb and forefinger together and then snaps. Megacorps couldn't get enough of the devices I invented. I was too high on my own ego to wonder what they were up to. What were the Megacorps doing then? They were fueling wars. They often managed to sell to both sides of the conflict all over the world. Casualties be damned. I mean, you made bombs. I don't think you get a say. I didn't realize what they were being used for. So by selling to them, there's blood on your hands? The junkie's already sickly pallor transaction. It's not even as simple as that. Man balls his fist into his lap. I thought my bombs were being used in wars against militias, mercenaries, and armies. I didn't think of them as people, but the weapons I developed were being used against civilian targets. No. The man starts sticking his rough fingernails into his palms so hard that tiny cartons of blood stain his palms. I'm from Guizhou. Sichuan has taken over much of the province, but pockets of resistance remain. There are big political struggles. Actions are brewed from the lives of ordinary people. Yet the village where I grew up in Guizhou was annihilated. They were tobacco farmers, winemakers, peasants, none military. Tears leak from the man's eyes, tracing narrow lines down his filthy cheeks. I recognized the distinctive patterns, the traces that were left behind. They were my bombs, used to shatter the landscape of my childhood. Why would they bother to bomb a village? break the spirit of the people. It broke mine. Junkie's shoulders heave and shake, and he passes a hand over his face. Now I just want to forget. The drugs help sometimes. When your village was bombed, you lose anyone you knew. He meets his gaze with red-rimmed eyes. He throws his arms wide. I knew them all, from the frailest elders to the littlest children. My own family died too. We weren't always close. Pyromaniac inventors don't fit in well in agricultural backwaters, but they were my only kin. Oh, I think I know what's going on here. I guess I must be feeling guilty about the bombs, huh? All the blood on my hands. I could feel it all the time, just like the bombs. Or I just like bombs. I didn't want anyone to get hurt. I just like bombs! He clutches his face, sobbing. How am I ever going to make this go away? How will I live with myself? The drugs help me forget, but he shakes his head, look of utter hopelessness on his face. Well, you could start by helping some kids or stealing your bomb schematics back. Helping kids, stealing mine. Junkie sways mutely in place, gnawing on his chapped upper lip. I wouldn't know where to begin. Need time to think. Children of the future, man. Find a charitable organization and put in some hours. Man lowers himself into squat and hugs his knees, his gaze somewhat absent and his cheeks glazed with tears. There are a couple shelters where I used to crash when I was less down and out than I am now. There were lots of families. I could help out. Man pauses, licking his lips, his mouth feeling for the right words. But in the end, I probably need to go home to Guizhou when I can bring myself to. I'll tell you what. I'll think about it. He nods eagerly. I'll think real hard. Thinking about it isn't going to be enough. You need to do something. Yeah. I will. His face fills up with something you hadn't seen there before. Determination. I will. I promise. Okay. Think we've now dealt with everyone. So we go inside. Talk to our buds. Well, first let's claim payment. 4 unread messages. Claim payment for the museum run. That's what I wanted. Well done. I've attached the payments to your ode. I trust you'll keep quiet about what exactly was liberated from Lu's little museum. I'll come collect the books from Kindly Cheng shortly. I want this. I want to post pay data for sale. To post the museum shipping manifest. Let's search the BBS. Oh. Police shootout in Victoria Harbor. I know a lot of you are interested in that 50,000 new yen that HKPF is promising in connection with terrorist seller hunting, so I've been digging around for some better information. I think we got some stuff of value. Turns out they had a handler here in Hong Kong by the name of Raymond Black. HKPF tried to take him into custody the day before, but were forced to kill him in a shootout. Looks like Black and the terrorists are members of the White Star group out of Hainan. Isn't White Star all about restoring Imperial China? One of those terrorists they killed was obviously North American. Why would she be helping a pro-imperialist group? You got money, you can buy any kind of person you need. You're on Shadowlands, Omei. You should know that. So what do we know about Black and his band of thugs? Anything we can use to track them down? The data I've been able to dig up says that Black is from Hainan and is distantly related to the royal family. He spent a couple of decades in Seattle making connections in the shadows in preparation for an attack on the Free Enterprise Zone. I've attached some dossiers on his remaining agents. Sift through the long stream of data detailing who you and Duncan are. While the general details about your name and life are correct, many of the small details are wildly inaccurate. You are listed as having lived in Laos for the past 4 years, while Duncan is noted having spent most of his life in prison. Move on to produce Gobbet and Isabel's ostensible biographies. Dossier lists Gobbet's real name as Yushun Gui and her place of birth as Xian Shaanxi. According to the contents, she is 23 years old and served with the Baihu corporate military until conviction for insubordination led her to dishonorable discharge. Now, you can't be certain Gobbet doesn't speak Mandarin. The idea of her being in the military, any military, is downright laughable. Isabel, in turn, is listed as Fatima Abukar. Apparently, Isabel was educated at an early age in terrorism and piracy by the revolutionaries of the Ethio-Malian territories and is wanted in connection with the bombing 2052 bomb attack on the French embassy in Johannesburg. Given that you know that Isabel grew up here in Hong Kong, this information appears to be as laughably inaccurate as your own dossier. Poetry. Posy Bash. Alright folks, trying it again, this time under a super secret code name. There's no telling how long this will last, so let the bashing begin. Super secret code name. You just ran the word Poetry Slam through a thesaurus. Poetry people, not complaints. A thief on the run. A silencer in the dark. The rat shaman lurks. Got one for the coyotes, too. An unbound trickster. This shaman fears no peril. Wily coyote. Wily coyote! On a roll, Jivey. Here's another one, if Mad can stand it. Pulses of light glance off bright chrome. Translucent spheres encase my treasure. Mirrors and tubes and neon implode. Another day in the Matrix. Hey, I can do traditional. I prefer the haiku because less typing. Gossamer tresses, infinity in your gaze, very pointy ears. Extra points for using gossamer correctly in a sentence. I like elves. Jivebird is still the master of the haiku. In fact, oh graveyard creeper, ashen skin, spindly fingers, and claws freak me out. Alright, Shakespeare, this is strike two. This thread is getting locked and you aren't doing this again, got me? Support is for deckers who want to talk shop. There are plenty other forums you can use for your stupid amateur poetry. Suggest you go find one. Top shelf sublet, available immediately. Like the title says, good location, cheap rent, serious offers only, please. What do you mean by top shelf? Is it a fancy corp condo? How'd you manage that? No, man, it's literally top shelf, the converted maintenance house that I live in. You're joking. No joke, it's cheap and location's good, right near the Temple Street night market. And it has super fast access, just in case you need to get in and out of the Matrix quick. I'm not the sort to ask questions. Just enough space to stretch out your legs lying down. And there's a ceiling hook for your gear. What do you say? I don't know. I need a place, but still. A shelf and a shared closet. Screw that. I've got a sweet pad to rent you can have all to yourself. It's not Victoria Peak or anything, but it's a bargain. Where's it at? Kowloon Walled City. It's one of the new construction units on the outer edge. I'll throw in a second healing hook. Deal? Okay. Message me and we'll work out the nitty gritty. Seriously? Walled City isn't that bad. My apartment is huge, even has windows. I'll beat Harbor Rat's rent. In fact, just tell me what you want to pay. Hello? Looking for an experienced decker for a discreet milk run on a supply house, purveyors of recreational substances, potential for a longer-term arrangement. We're a team that's been together for years, running your basic heists and the occasional transport gig. We've got a reliable fixer and a long list of happy clients. Requirement: you must have some good sense of humor. Hey, are you willing to give a newbie a shot? I've been in and out of the Matrix since I was in school. I raised some creds doing odd jobs, so I've got a hot new cyber deck that I mentioned to try on a real run. I don't know, man. Really like to find a long-term decker, and you kind of don't know shit. You said so yourself. Sorry. Oh, come on. You said it was a milk run. How else would a Shadowrunner start if not with an easy gig? I'm being upfront with you. Doesn't that count for something? Fine. I got a test for you. You hack this guy Captain Scone and change his password to erotic massage. I'm on it. Thanks. Done. Am I in or what? Say yes, say yes, say yes. What the fuck? And may Zoom. May I introduce you to our rigger, Captain Scone. You'll make a fine addition to our team. Thank you. You won't regret this. You gotta stop getting people to hack me, gimme, or you'll be looking for a new rigger next. Aw, you know that you love me. Alright. Let us read all of our 4 unread messages. Jeez. Opportunity. You come see me if you have a chance. I have a trade opportunity. Maximum. Maximum law. Done is what happens when I rain the fire. Ultrathon Visigoth, Judge of Titan. Duncan asked me to do some digging on my own into Raymond's history. I guess he doesn't trust kindly Chang to give him the full story. Can't say I blame him, since she'd hide things from us if it was in our best interest to do so. So I've been poking around various corners of the Matrix, trying to dig up what I can. Most sinners leave a data trail the size of an aircraft carrier in their wake. Working backwards in time, Raymond starts out that way, but it slowly tapers away into nothingness. Sure, I can find some basic records in Seattle, power, utilities, a couple of public discussion sites he signed up for, but the further back I get, the less I find. And the craziest part is this. Prior to 2032, I can't find anything at all. And that shouldn't be possible. It's like Raymond didn't exist before then. I don't know. I'm gonna keep digging, but it'll take me a while. I'll let you know when I get some news worth sharing. Cade, I need you to come to the parlor. A friend and business partner of mine named Dr. Shen Yang has need of your services. Something about attending a fancy party in Repulse Bay. He was unwilling to give me the details. I think he wants to size you up for himself. Interesting. Gobbet's face winks out on the screen. Her rats are perched precariously on her head, and she holds a laser pointer clutched between her thumb and forefinger. Oh, hey Seattle. I hope that I didn't catch you at a bad time. She flicks the laser pointer, and her rat's head swivel to the right to follow the motion. Which is exactly what I thought. Why did I just say that? This is a recording. It doesn't matter if it's a bad time. Well, anyway, I was thinking about that talk we had, the dream talk about the nightmares and stuff. Another flick of the pointer. The rat's heads turn left. Their nose is twitching. I got a friend here in town. She runs the Parlor of Five Faces. It's sort of a local magic shop and talismonger. Name's Crafty. I already talked to her about all of this shit. The rat's heads turn upward to stare at the ceiling. Anyway, she's smart. Really smart. Her mom was sort of a local authority on all things magical, and the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. If you wanted to ask anyone in town about those dreams, she'd be the right one to choose. She taps the button to the laser pointer with her thumb, and a little red dot on the tip goes dark. The rats immediately tackle one another, rolling off her head and falling out of sight. She gets up, her head rising out of frame. Anyway, I just thought it might help. If you've already been talking to Crafty, please disregard this message. Okay. Alright, I'm out. Peace. She punches a button, and the screen goes dark. So Crafty wants us to... Let's see. Oh, that's sleeping. We'll do that at some point. You enter Wu's cabin and find him moving through some sort of stretching routine. His muscles ripple as he flows tranquilly from one pose to the next. You look different, Cade. Do I? Yeah, like I flipped forward a few chapters instead of turning a page. I mean, you look like you, just not the you I knew. I get it. You're you too, just a lot leaner. Wu looks down at his torso, chuckles. Yeah, remember how Lockjaw used to make fun of my gut? He used to call me Dunkin' Donut. He smiles. His teeth are perfect. I guess I got tired of that whole running out of energy walking upstairs thing. Plus, I needed to slim down to get into the academy. And once I got off my ass and started exercising, really exercising, I found out that I loved it. It's the focus, I guess. I don't have to think about anything. I don't have to talk to anyone. All I have to do is concentrate on my form and count my reps. And no matter what happens after that, I started my day by accomplishing something. So what about you? Gives you a once-over. How are you doing? Yeah, I like this. I'm kind of pissed at Raymond for getting us in this whole thing. Like, She's upset. She wants upset about Raymond, but she's also kind of pissed at him. Don't misplace your anger. This isn't Raymond's fault. Whoever took him makes eye contact with you, acknowledges there's an alternative possible, or killed him. They're the ones to blame. I mean, yeah, but also he was clearly involved with a bunch of shit, like not completely out of his own, like partially out of his own choice. I'm gonna find out who they are. Damn right. So am I. Picks up an ammo box and begins using it like a dumbbell. You seem like a natural leading a screwcade. I still don't completely understand. How do you get out of being a Shadowrunner? Yeah, let's say freedom, I guess. Or, yeah. Not a cog in the corporate machine. Sure you're not, chuckles to himself. Come on, Cade, think. Of course you're a cog. Everyone's a cog. Whether you're working for them, consuming their crap, getting brainwashed by news media that they control, voting for the people that they put in front of you, being policed by people they own, you're a cog. And you're the lowest kind of cog. Shadowrunner. Disposable asset. Sinless. Slithering through the cracks of society, doing jobs that are too dirty for the corps to do themselves. You don't even appear on a corporate balance sheet. Runners could be more than that. They can move their own agenda. Fight the power. I don't think. I think it got this. I call my own shots, take the jobs I want. Like, I think that's where she's at, even if she's wrong, basically. From the Chinese menu that Kindly Chang puts in front of us, yeah. We can leave anytime we want, right? Gives you a lopsided grin. Forget it. Doesn't matter. This is about finding out what happened to Raymond. Thinking about getting chromed up? Is he? What? Why would? What is this prompted by? With cyber? Schick said. Oh my god, how many times are you gonna ask me that? Okay, I like the idea this is a recurring joke with them. Like a recurring, like, thing that she does to poke him. Oh, at least a couple dozen more times. You always have the best reactions. Wu grins. His teeth are blindingly white. I told you one time I was thinking about it when I was 13. Let it go. I'm not gonna pollute my body with that shit. You? I'm a shaman, Wu. We don't tend to go in for a lot of cybernetic augmentation. I like that this. So the archetype options are not actually based on which one you chose in the character builder, because I didn't choose any. It's just based on your skill levels, I guess. Yeah, I guess you got a point there. That's a good thing, by the way. Better to keep yourself whole and in touch with the world around you. May not have my magic, but I know that's true. Fuck off! This is one of the worst. I mean, there's a lot of bad parts of Cyberpunk, but this is a really bad part of Cyberpunk. What do you think about that last run? Oh man, you remember that Megatron movie we snuck into that one time? The one where the mummy took over Chicago? I seem to remember that you kept your eyes shut through most of it. He nods. That's the one. Completely freaked me out. I slept with the dumpster lid shut for a week. What a pleasure it was to go on a run that brought back such hideous memories. I still can't believe you made a deal with that thing. I mean, it was a mummy, Cade. You don't make deals with mummies. Cradled his head in his hands. Fuck, I can't believe I just said that. I didn't know that Shadowrunners dealt with crap like this. Can't say I'm a fan, Cade. Not even a little bit. Anyway, enough about that. Need anything else? I want to talk about you and me. Rests his eyes on a moment. His face neutral. Yeah, I guess now's as good a time as any. You start. Seems like Carter's death hit you pretty hard. Blue continued stretching. Yeah, she was a good one. We were a real team. Joining Lone Star helped me in all sorts of important ways, no doubt about it. I really embraced being a cop. Studied my ass off. No matter how hard I worked, I was never more than a model cop with a brutal streak. There were plenty of assignments that were perfect for a big, mean orc like me. Assignments that would have fed my need to hurt people. But I met Carter about a year in, and she changed things. Talked about values and goals and priorities and constructing the life that you want to live. She was a real trip. She sounds wise. Pauses, stretching for a moment. Huh. Never thought about that word as a way to describe her. Wise. From an outside perspective, I guess you'd say that, but to me she was just grounded. She knew who she was, where she was going, what got her there. Carter understood how the world worked, but compartmentalized it so she could focus on making a life for herself that made sense. She kept me focused. When Raymond asked me to meet him in Hong Kong, I had a feeling I was going to wind up going off the reservation if I didn't bring Carter along. Now that she's gone, here I am. So that you honor her memory by showing her how much you learned. Whose mouth drops open and curves into a grin, shakes his head, still smiling. I'm sorry, did Cade just give me sage advice? Sounds like you did some growing up on your own. You're not acting like the Duncan Wu that I grew up with. What made you decide to become a cop? I needed structure. Bad. You know that better than anyone. I was already hardcore when we met. Mr. Ultraviolence. I'd do anything to get a rise out of the guy I was rolling with. Gouging eyes, inverting knees, curb stomping. Holy shit. That shit got me cheers. I was like a pit fighter bloodletting for the crowd, and I learned to enjoy it. But I never learned how to block out the memories of their screams when I was lying in bed at night. Guilt started eating me alive, and I was scared to be alone with my thoughts, so I tried to drown them with all the things you drown things out with. You never told me that before. You seemed to have it under control when we were together. It's funny how people remember things. Yeah, when we squatted together, and later, when we were living with Ray, I was still a violent son of a bitch, but basically under control. But that was you, Cade. You were the voice of reason, the brains. Me? The brains? Don't pretend you weren't the leader. You know I was. When we ran the streets together, I was the muscle and you called the shots. You pointed and I hit. But later, after Ray got me some counseling, I realized I let you call the shots so that I wouldn't have to. Because I knew that what I wanted was wrong. By following your lead, I was deflecting my own guilt onto you. I could just knock heads and walk away clean, you know. Don't look at me, I'm just doing what I'm told. Man, somebody got counseling in a video game? Like, just mentioned as a normal thing? And then you left. Without you there, I knew I was in serious trouble. Poster boy for anger management issues. Raymond could provide a stable environment, decent therapist, and money for prescriptions, but you know Raymond. He's an egghead engineer with a philanthropic streak, not a drill sergeant. And a drill sergeant was what I needed. I needed structure and discipline in a way that he couldn't offer me. I needed a cage to keep myself in line. Jesus. So the story we're being presented with is a fucking brutal thug. What, in order to try to yes, as Darwin says, I was the poster boy for anger management issues, so obviously I joined the cops. The idea that the cops would help him stop being that, rather than just put it to use and enable it and let him beat everyone. Oh God. So I found myself a cage made of rules and procedures and training. Lone Star. Raymond helped me with my application and provided a decent character reference. I got in and it helped a lot. Lone Star got me where I needed to be. Now it's all gone, and you're back. You've been waiting a long time to ask me about the night I left, haven't you? He chuckles and hooks his thumbs in his belt. I guess I have, yeah. It's about what you were doing before you got thrown into that corp facility. You said that you had a friend who was in a bind, but that was all you could say. How'd it go? Interesting. I don't. It's weird that these are the only two options. Let's just say that we're not friends anymore and leave it at that. Whatever you say. You ever think about when we were kids? Begins moving through some sort of pattern. Might be Tai Chi. I try not to. What are you talking about exactly? A squad in the Barrens on Leary Way. That least of all. We're not exactly talking about an idyllic youth arcade. Still, it's better than being on the streets. Sleeping in dumpsters, running from ghouls, fighting over scraps. Who stops moving, drifts off for a moment, and defending your territory. If we hadn't found that place on Leary, found Lockjaw and Double Tray, probably wouldn't be here. Why were you thinking about back then? Sure, just thinking about that thing DT used to say. When he returns to his patterns, he manipulates an imaginary soap bubble between his hands. Improvise, adapt, overcome. That's how you beat the street. I remember. I remember Double Tray saying that. It was while we were living between the red-hot nukes and the 162s. Crazy-ass dwarf anarchists on one side and flesh-eating ghouls on the other. Those are the days that you long for? Long for? No. I was just thinking it's the same now as it was back then. His raspy baritone fills the space between you, bridges it. Survive and watch each other's backs. Yeah, I know. I said talk later. Yeah, later would be good. Don't get me wrong, catching up is nice, but I'm not used to being as social as this. It's one of the reasons why it was so nice to work with Under Carter. We both appreciated long silences. Sorry, man. She seemed like good people. It's all good. She's gone. I've accepted that. I guess it's just been a big day is all. Good talk. Catch up with you later. Okay, gotta go talk to everybody else here. Isabel's jacked into the octopus. Her body sits inert or breathing shallow. As you approach, an image blossoms onto the largest of the octopus's view screens. Hello down there. It's good to see you again. She smiles and down at you from the monitor, her outline scintillating with blue-white light. She looks peaceful, at ease. Nice avatar. That's a good look for you. Isn't it? I spent months customizing this avatar. She feels more real to me than my own skin. You really feel at home in the Matrix, don't you? You look happy in there. I suppose that I am. It's a comfort thing. As long as I'm jacked in, I can be wherever I want to be. Whatever I want to be. Out there in meat space, I usually feel uncomfortable in my own skin. The avatar offers you a lopsided smile. Probably just live in here if I could. But our avatar is just her. It's literally like a just paint over of her portrait. I've heard about deckers who tried it. It never turned out well. Dehydration's a bad way to go. I know. And of course I was joking, but truth be told, I do spend most of my time out there wishing that I was back in here. You're a decker. You must know what I'm talking about. The freedom of it. It's hard to live in a cage of meat when you know how sweet it feels to leave your body behind. She pauses for a moment, considering. Then her avatar shimmers forward, filling the screen. A slight frown crosses her face. You know, Cade, I've been thinking about the question you asked me a little while back. The one about the walled city. The avatar fidgets. The one that I dodged. Yeah, I remember. Look, I wasn't trying to cheat you out of your answer. I want you to know that. It's just that talking about the walled city is problematic for me. I understand. I grew up in the Barrens. I know how hard it can be to talk about this stuff. No, it isn't that. I'm not explaining myself correctly. It isn't that I'm tortured by bad memories or anything like that. The problem is, I can't remember my childhood. The walled city, that entire chapter of my life, is nothing but a blur to me. I can give you general information about life on the inside, but the specifics of my own experience are gone. Gone? What do you mean gone? Do you have amnesia or something? Something like that. The avatar fidgets on the screen. There were a variety of factors in play. The upshot of all this is that there are things I can tell you about, but only a few and only in broad strokes. Bold strokes? Don't expect any personal stories. I couldn't share them even if I wanted to. So if that's okay with you, if you'll be satisfied with trivia and urban legends, then we can talk. Just say the word. Otherwise, well, at least you know why. How did you lose your childhood memories? Isabel Avatar frowns. I'd rather not go into it. It's personal. Suffice it to say that I've never missed them, at least until now. Well, if you ever want to talk about it, I'm a good listener. Great. I'll keep that in mind. Any thoughts about that last run? Shakes the head. Nope, sorry. Jacking the octopus is how I relax after long days of work. Some people go to sports bars or strip clubs. I do this. As a rule, I don't spoil my leisure time with shop talk. We're already talking shop, aren't we? There's a difference between the job and our lives. It's after hours. I don't want to talk about work, so if you wouldn't mind changing the subject. Give me what you can about the walled city. At this point, anything will help. Alright. The avatar licks its lips, nods. I can do that. Isabel's avatar turns, begins to pace on the screen. Where she steps, spiderwebs of light spread across the tiled ground of the octopus's sculpted matrix hub. When I think of the walled city, the thing that stands out in the most of my mind is the legends, the mythology of the place. If I hadn't lived with them, I might have found those stories fascinating. Scintillating figure turns to you on the screen. Did you know that Kowloonwood's walled city is supposed to be cursed? That's what the locals believe. We had ghost stories and everything. Well, of course you had ghost stories. Every place has ghost stories. Spirits are real, Isabel. Not the ones that we're talking about. Our stories didn't concern city spirits or spirits of man or any other known supernatural phenomena. We had our own homegrown legends about demons from another place, imaginary monsters that haunted the walled city. The Yama Kings, derived from the mythological judge of the dead, and final boss was Spelunky. Wait, the walled city is possessed by demons? No, not really. Probably be easiest to think of the Yama Kings as urban legends, our own little pantheon of monsters and morality tales. Tall tales about things with claws to frighten ourselves at night. The stories are still clear in my mind, even after everything that happened. Everyone in the walled city believed them. You can get out of the walled city if you make a deal with Fu Mei, cut the hearts from the 44 people closest to you and bring them to him. He will reward you with riches. Don't go under that arch, or Qian Ya will catch you. The avatar grabs the air, its hands leaving glowing trails as they move. She will rip out your teeth, tie your tongue in a knot, and make you her slave for eternity. We had Qi Xiang, our own homegrown judge of souls. People who let themselves be flayed alive in hopes that he'd reawaken them in a better life. And we had Lam Vi, the ebony queen, teach you to hide so well that you'd slowly mutate into a cockroach. Avatar cocks its head, smirking, a dismissive gesture. It's all bullshit, of course, but everyone in the walled city believed it. I wouldn't write stories off so easily. Magic is real, Isabel. Of course it is, I know that. But the Yama Kings can't be real. If they were, the body count in the walled city would be a lot higher. Yama Kings are glorified kid stories. They're make-believe, fiction that my parents and neighbors invented to excuse their own actions. I can't get ahead because demons are keeping me down. Woe is me, woe is me. It's almost embarrassingly transparent when you really look at it. Lam Vi turning people into cockroaches? It's just a Kafkaesque trope layered onto a morality tale. Qi Xiang? He's just Anubis with a different coat of paint. And you know that archway that I mentioned? The one that Qian Ya was supposed to haunt? I know someone who found it. There's nothing on the other side but concrete. It's all superstitious drivel, Cade. The misery in the walled city isn't the fault of demons or devils. We created it, and we perpetuate it. We blamed made-up monsters for our own failings. There's nothing more pathetic than that. And what about the shared dreams? How do you explain those away? I don't know. Mass psychosis, or maybe something magical is going on. But it isn't them. They aren't real. They can't be. Anyway, that's enough for now, huh? I'm sure that gives you plenty to chew on. My obligation to give you an answer is satisfied, I think. So let's talk about something else. You think of anything else that might help us? I don't know. Maybe. I'll put some thought into it. Avatar pauses, turns away. After a moment, Isabel's voice pours through the Tridio's speakers. On second thought, maybe I do have an idea. Are you open to taking on more work? Well, that depends on the nature of the job and the size of the payday. Avatar smiles down at you from the monitor. Of course it does. This would be a small job. Side gig for me, outside the scope of the work that Auntie Cheng brings you. As for the payday, I have got a line in some software that could help us. I can't get it on my own, though. It's a two-person job at least. What kind of software? It's kind of hard to explain. It'd be easier for me to just show you, but trust me, it'll help. I have the run all planned out already. I've done the legwork, I know the location, I know the target. Just say the word and I'll send everything I have to your mission computer. You could look it over, weigh it, and decide what you want to do. Alright. Then Isabel Avatar closes its eyes for a moment, then opens them and smiles. Done. You'll find the pertinent documents waiting in your inbox. If you decide to accept the mission, just check the box in the message documentation. It'll ping my comm link automatically. Alright. Can't wait to find out what all this is all about. I'm sure that the briefing I sent you will satisfy your curiosity. Trust me, Cade. This is a good job with a solid plan behind it. You'll see as soon as you've read it. Speaking of which, you should go do that more. Alright, I'll go check it out. Fantastic. Can't wait to hear what you think. I'll do that after I talk to Gobbet. We're getting so many missions available because there's another one from Kindly that I haven't accepted. I already have 2, so we're going to have 4 missions open. Maybe Gobbet's going to give us one. Who the fuck knows? Gobbet looks up from a dented tin of oysters at the sound of your approach. Her rats, Madness and Folly, scurry from her hips up to her shoulders. 2 sets of beady red eyes fix themselves on you. Hey, Seattle. Oyster? She spears a gray lump of seafood with a fingernail, extends it to you. It smells like a low tide at a municipal pier. Sure, why not? You pop the rubbery wad of flesh in your mouth and chew. An explosion of lukewarm brine is your reward. Good, right? Her half-repressed memories of dumpster diving in the Barrens dance a merry jig in your brain as the mangled oyster slides down your throat. I've eaten worse. Exactly right. May not be fine dining, but it's seafood and isn't made of soy. That makes it good in my book. She tilts back the tin, drains the remaining juice, and then flicks it into the overflowing bin at her side. So, what can I do for you? Any thoughts about that last run? Gobbet positively vibrates with excitement, clapping her hands together with a huge grin. That was awesome! Think about it. We broke into some rich jerk's manor house, stole his artifacts so they could go to a museum, and we fought mummies. If that's not the plot of a Trid blockbuster, I don't know what is. I'm not sure what I think about that mummy's trinket. Never had a dead person owe me a favor before. I'm not even sure how that works. Be careful when you use that trinket. As long as he does what we tell him to, that's pretty awesome. But if the Trids taught me anything, it's that mummies are always waiting for an excuse to run around cursing everybody. So what else did you want to chat about? How do you like life here on the Bolt Hole? It's fine. It's shaping up. Having new roomies is always nice. She smells. How are you enjoying your cabin? Company enough for you? She doesn't mention the former occupants of the cabin. It isn't half bad. Better than most of the places I squatted in back in the Barrens. I've heard stories about the Redmond Barrens. Sounds like a real winner of a place. Kowloon isn't any better, of course, but at least our little slice of home is safe. Yeah, I'll take the Bolt Hole over the Barrens any day. That's the spirit. A lazy smile spreads across her face as her fingertips brush Madness's back. The rat squeals and darts back in the safe haven of Gobbet's hair. You know, the bolt hole's a pretty mediocre name for a ship. You ever consider changing it? Yeah, sure. Considered it a bunch of times. Never really cared enough to actually do it, though. She shrugs. You want to call her something else? I'm open to it. These are all terrible names. On second thought, let's just stick with the bolt hole. The Big Texas. You said that you teach me how to be a better Shadowrunner. I'm here to collect. Still remember that, do you, huh? Sort of assumed you'd laugh that off. No dice, wizened mentor. You offered. Now pay up. Straightens. Okay. How about this? I'll tell you a story about a run gone bad. You tell me what you'd have done in the runner's place, and then we'll compare notes on your answer. How does that sound? You tell me. You're the teacher here, remember? Right. It sounds good. Of course it does. So that's what we'll do. She sweeps a tangled rope of hair out of her eyes and back over one pointed ear. After a moment of silent contemplation, she bites her lip and nods. Okay, so this is a story from early in my career. I was part of a team here in HK, but I did some occasional moonlighting for another group based out of Macau. I was a busy kid. Early in your career, so you were like 12 years old? Her eyes narrow in mock indignation. You say that like I couldn't have been. When I was 12, I could have destroyed you. And also I was 16, practically an adult in orc years. We grow up fast. Anyway, the job was a hit on this tower, sort of a Trid multiplex / apartment complex. I'm sure they've got them in Seattle too, you know the kind. 7 huge screens, monster concession stand, coffin apartments on top like barnacles on a whale. I lived in one for a while. Every time they showed an action movie, the walls would shake. Yeah, that'll happen. Our client wanted us to break into one of the apartments. The story was that an ex of hers, a guy named Boggs, lived there. She'd been cooped up with him until about a week prior, and then things went sour in a big way. She wanted us to get back some things that Boggs kept when he kicked her out. Scare the shit out of him, bloody him up a bit, make it look like a robbery. You know the drill. Sounds more like a job for thrill gangers than full-fledged Shadowrunners. Yeah, it was a pretty bush league gig, but the pay was decent enough. Not the sort of thing you turn down. So anyway, Sibilance, that was our group leader, had a plan. We knew that we had to go in quiet because Metroplex had a panic system wired directly to HKPF. We got in shooting, we'd been drowning in cops within 10 minutes. Sib thought we could maybe take advantage of the apartment's terrible soundproofing and kick in Boggs' door when the movie got loud. We'd camp out near his doorway, wait for the ceiling to start raining plaster, then smash our way in with his neighbors none the wiser. Doesn't sound like a bad plan? No, there's no way that would work. I don't know, it might have, things had gone differently, but it's what we did, so pipe down and let me tell you the rest of the story. So we waited in the hall, just like Sibilance planned. We had a guy in the elevator, another at the stairs. I was waiting by the floor's communal kitchen. Sib took up a position on the door. She had these cyber legs that she dumped a ton of new yen into. Hydraulic jacks, strength enhancements, the works. Girl could probably leg press a dump truck. She paused for a moment. Come to think of it, most of her plans involved kicking things. There's something a little sad about that. If that was her thing, I wouldn't question it. Yeah, you're very supportive. Me, I'd prefer to work for someone who thought with their heads for robot legs. Anyway, we heard a boom from downstairs, felt the walls shake with the reverb. Sib wheeled back and gave the door a massive kick, just as she'd planned. From where I was standing, I couldn't really see what happened next. I could hear a massive crack as her boot slammed into Duraplast. The door flew off its hinges. Exploded off might be a more accurate phrase. A second later, we heard an ungodly crash. There was a moment of silence, then Sib let out a little gasp. The apartment was in shambles. Like a hurricane had hit it. Everything was trashed, everything but the door, which is miraculously still in one piece. Remember that this was a coffin apartment. It wasn't much wider than the door to begin with. And Boggs, Well, what was left of him was under the door, too. Well, you got the rough him up part right. Yeah, unfortunately, he wound up a lot rougher than he was supposed to be. Her nose crinkles in discomfort. That door really did a number on him. Ribs sticking out of his skin, that kind of thing. It was a bloody mess. So yeah, Boggs was dead. Stuff we'd been sent to his apartment to recover had been smashed to bit. And then the building alarm went off. So that's the situation. Our payday is smashed. My temporary teammates are all standing around with stupid looks on their faces. The cops are coming. I'm standing by the kitchen. She plants her head on her hip, smiling. What would you have done in my place? Hmm. Your group was in trouble. I'd have rallied them, tried to help them fight their way past the cops and out. We've just been defeated by an inanimate object, Seattle. We got our asses kicked by a plastic door and the power of our own ambition. I've said one of the options is not make an omelet or similar. I guess maybe that was the improvise in the kitchen. Fighting off waves of cops above a crowded movie theater didn't feel like the best move at the time. So what did you do? The first thing that popped in my head, that's a lesson to remember, Seattle. The first answer you come up with is almost always the best one you're going to have, so just roll with it. Don't second guess yourself. Don't hesitate. Just act. You'll live longer that way. This seems questionable, Gobbet. As for what I did that night, well, I was standing by a kitchen, remember? I could have cut and run. I looked like any other street kid. I would blended in. But instead, I decided to stay and help my team. When I think crowded theater, I think place where you can't shout fire because it'll cause a panic. And then I thought, cops don't charge at burning buildings. They help people get out of them. And as it happened, I had the means to create real, genuine fire sitting right across from me. A pair of industrial ovens. You set the building on fire. I encouraged it to burn, opened the gas vents wide, set the range on a timer, and motored back into the hallway. The others just started arguing amongst themselves. I told them to snap out of it and follow me down to the lobby. We had to clear the hallway before an errant spark took out the whole floor. Unfortunately, the rest of the group wouldn't listen. Sib and the rest of the team were too busy arguing about the relative merits of let's kick things really hard, see what happens tactical system to want anything to do with me. I shouted back to them that the kitchen was going to explode and continued down the hallway. Just like I'd planned, I got out of that run in one piece. So did every single one of the people in that multiplex. My fire plan worked beautifully. If the rest of the team listened to me, they might have gotten out of the building too. Kind of a bummer that they didn't, but at least the run turned out well for me. Your team burned to death! She crossed her arms over her chest. Look, they screwed themselves over when Sib kicked in that door. They were in a heap of trouble, and what I did would have gotten them out of it if they'd listened to me. Know how I know? Because it got me out. They could have followed me, but instead they chose to argue until they exploded. That's on them, not me. Of course, I couldn't collect any pay because the run had been a disaster. But after the explosion, I got to ride in the front of a fire truck, and they gave me cookies and a blanket. I wound up dating one of those firemen a few weeks later. All things considered, it could have gone a lot worse. Gobbet claps her hands together and rubs them, a satisfied look on her face. So, Seattle. The laughter disappears from her voice, and her expression goes serious. It's like somebody flipped a switch. Suddenly, the look in her eyes is shrewd, calculating. Tell me, what was the moral of the story? What was the lesson I was trying to convey? I mean, don't go on Shadowruns with idiots. This is what she was trying to convey, but I feel like this is really the lesson here. Don't go on Shadowruns with idiots. Ha, funny lady. She frowns. Well, that's a lesson. Maybe an invaluable one. It isn't what I was trying to convey. Now pay attention, because this is important. What I was trying to teach you is that you should trust your influences. When a run has gone south and you need to improvise, don't overthink it. She scratches Folly behind the ears. Once you've committed to doing something, you gotta follow through. Though, no arguing or hand-wringing. Just do it. If you get caught up in your own head, agonizing over past mistakes, well, don't be surprised if you wind up dead. A kitchen fire could take you down easily as a cop's bullet if you stand around and let it. You certain that Sibilance and the rest of the Macau team are dead? Shrugs. They weren't with me when I got evacuated with the rest of the moviegoers. I never saw them leave the building, and I haven't heard from them since. I guess it's possible that somebody made it, but I don't really run in those circles anymore. Odds are good if anyone from the Macau team did survive, they'd have died off by now from sheer incompetence. Shadowrunning is an unforgiving business. You don't get to make too many mistakes. Did any of that stuff in the story actually happen, or did you just make it up for my benefit? Seattle, I'm hurt. It all went down exactly like I said it did. Well, except for a couple of embellishments here and there. But they make a better story. Artistic license and all that. Gobbet leans back and stifles a yawn. Madness and folly dart up her left shoulder and lock their beady eyes on you. Hate to break it to you, kiddo, but I'm beat. It's been a long day. Lesson's over for now. We'll pick it back up next time. Alright, Gobbet. I'll catch you next time. I am older than you. Watch who you're calling kiddo. I'm older than you are. Yeah, whatever. She makes a brushing motion with her fingers. Scurry along now. Your mentor needs a rest. Alright. Let's get our thingy. Job offer from Isabel. Recording of Isabel pops to the screen. She stares in the camera, her eyes full of intensity. If you're watching this, you decided to listen to my job offer. That's a good thing. I wasn't convinced that you would. Our target is local Decker, former Wampoan. The Matrix handles Rhombus. He has the software that we need. Unfortunately, he's unassailable from the Matrix, and nobody knows where he lives in Meat Space, but I know where he's going to be. There's an event coming up that Rhombus can't afford to miss. He might already be on his way there. As you're reading this message, Deckers from all over Asia, white hat and black hat alike, are converging on the Harbor Spires Hotel. This year, Harbor Spires is hosting DeckCon, Hong Kong's largest annual decking convention. DeckCon! Not to be confused with DEFCON. Rhombus is going to be there, and that gives us an opportunity. We're going to hit the convention, find him in Meat Space, get the software away from him, and we're going to do it quietly. Closed, you'll find a copy of the plan that I worked out for the run, presented in bullet point format. Everything should be fairly straightforward. I want to see the bullet point slides! Isabel's image winks off the screen, replaced by a blinking cursor. As you watch, the screen begins to fill with lines of its simple instructions. Oh, good. I'll provide you and one other runner of your choice with visitor passes for the convention. I will proceed ahead of you, use my own guest badge. I will hide in the women's lavatory on the first floor. You will enter via the kitchen and procure me a uniform from the catering staff. Please be sure the uniform is size 4. We will rendezvous, and I will change the uniform, and using it, I will infiltrate the administrative ring on the 6th floor. You will proceed into the convention hall and await further instructions. Using the admin computer, I will identify Rhombus via his guest registration form. Once I have done this, I will alert you via comlink. I will upgrade your badge to VIP status, granting you access to the VIP wing of the hotel. You will tell Rhombus that he's been granted VIP status and offer to escort him to a complimentary hotel room. You will escort him to a room that I designate and hold him there. I will jack out of the Matrix and make my way from the admin room wing to your room. We will intimidate Rhombus / beat the tar out of him until he gives us the software. We will tie and gag Rhombus and stuff him into a storage closet. We will not be gentle. It's okay if he starts crying. Actually, please prioritize this. I want to see tears. Software in tow, we will make our escape. Glowing text fades and Isabella winks back on the screen. See? It's a simple plan, just like I said. We should be able to get through without firing a shot. So will you do it? Will you help me get the software I need? A pre-recorded footage of Isabella winks off the screen. A real-time feed of her Matrix guys will try to replace it. Excellent! I knew that I could count on you. Settle up, Cade. This is going to be fun. Head to DeckCon 2056. Oh. Oh, we need to go talk to, what's his face? Ractor. I just forget what his name is. Ractor's shop is sweltering hot, even more so than it was the first time he stepped inside. The whir of actuators accompanies the fine motions of the manipulator arms that hang from the ceiling. They are turning an object over and over in their articulated hands, soldering wires and hammering rivets. Ah, my friend, welcome back. Ractor touch-types a series of commands into his bracer, and the arms relax into an idle posture. He smiles at you, a cigarette dangling from his tip. There, that's better. Now what can I do for you? Any thoughts about that last run? An interesting diversion. The mummies that we encountered were fascinating. Dead flesh, reanimated by the controlling will of an astral being bound within. Of course, the notion that these creatures are genuine reincarnations of long-dead humans is ludicrous. There's nothing innately magical about human consciousness. The soul is an antiquated concept rooted in wishful thinking. Thankfully, your deal has earned us the means to summon one of these entities. I should like to study it. Dissection would be best, but given the circumstances, I suppose that external observation will do. Good work all the same. My notes will be the richer for it. How are you getting on along with the other members of the team? Perfectly well, thank you. They all seem competent enough, and there haven't been any major personality conflicts so far. Rubs his chin thoughtfully. As long as they continue performing to an acceptable standard, I can see no reason not to continue our arrangement. It's good to run with a team again. Sure, all right, but what do you think of them personally? They're fine, I suppose. All fine. Gobbet is quite charming. Isabel keeps to herself, and Duncan is doing his best in a bad situation. There's a momentary pause. He shrugs. And that, I'm afraid, is all that I have to say. Apologies if you were looking for more. You're still something of a mystery to the group, Ractor. Mind if I ask you a few questions? No, I don't mind. Not at all. Takes a drag on the cigarette, then slowly releases the smoke. I can't promise that my answers will satisfy your curiosity, of course, but you may certainly ask. Did you emigrate directly from Russia to Hong Kong? No. Between my years in Nizhny Novgorod and my time here in Hue, I spent a year in the free city of Berlin. That's where I got my feet wet as a Shadowrunner, you see. I ran with a team of anarchists for a time, learned the ropes of the occupation under their tutelage. I'm like, wait, was he in Dragonfall? I don't fucking remember him if he was. No, he wasn't. No. What can you tell me about that team of yours? Let's go with anarchists, huh? Must have been interesting. It was, to a point. They were disorganized, to be sure, but perfectly capable. We enjoyed a certain level of camaraderie while we ran together. Sadly, we are no longer on the best of terms. What happened? An opportunity arose, and I seized it. In so doing, I left Berlin for Hong Kong, and I did so without much advance notice. My absence made life difficult for them, and they blamed me for their hardships. Well, you're a grown man. If you wanted to leave, you are under no obligation to stay. I mean, considering that's what I did, that seems... Thank you for taking my side, but I could see their point as well. As I said, my departure caused some complications for them. That said, I haven't lost any sleep over it. I merely did what I had to do. Looks away, a wistful expression on his face. Koshai scrapes the ground with its forelegs, its sensors fixed firmly on you. I guess they didn't have a rigger? So maybe that... Ultimately, I would say that my time in Berlin was quite educational. Different from my earlier life in Russia, to be sure. As I said, the experience was invaluable. Ultimately, though, Hue is probably better suited to my sensibilities. How so? Life in Hong Kong is more structured than it is in Berlin. Things make sense here in a way that the Flux State didn't. Taps a finger to his temple! I have an orderly mind. Everything in its place, neatly labeled and filed away. This approach is what allows me to make sense of the world. To say that the people I knew in Berlin thought differently would be an understatement. Why did you move from Russia to Berlin? He holds his tongue for a moment, considering. When we first met, I told you that I... Daimon says, so far, Ractor is less than Isabel, is less than Goggles, is way, 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 way less than Gobbet. I can see that. I think definitely Gobbet is definitely the standout, yeah. I would agree with that. I told you that I parted ways with Grishin Aviakar under Aviakar. Oh, that's his company. Under unfortunate circumstances, yes? You mentioned it. The same circumstances led me to Berlin. I was wronged, and I would not find recourse in Russia. Besides, I suppose there's no sense in being vague. I'll tell you the story if you want to hear it. Sure! You may remember that the stealth repair system I mentioned the first time we met, the module that will allow Koshai or any sufficiently equipped drone to repair itself. I told you that my research had been lost. That was not strictly true. It was stolen by a pair of colleagues who I had long considered friends. They were researchers from my old lab. They turned against me, stole our work, in truth, my work, and defected. They betrayed you, huh? Yes, driven by desperation, no doubt, and ambition. They had always been fixated on getting out of Russia. Grisha Navyakar was a nationalized corporation, and they would never get rich as cogs in a government-controlled machine. In our project, they saw their key to breaking away and earning their fortunes, never mind the fact that I was opposed to the idea. So they took what was mine and left me with nothing. Do you have any leads as to where they might have gone? Yes, the two had long spoken about moving to Berlin, such as true of a great many academics in Russia. My homeland is a bureaucratic dictatorship, you see. What is... There's little personal freedom, and there are many rules to be followed. As you might imagine, the stable anarchy of the flux state can be an alluring concept to those who live under totalitarian rule. Not a thing, and also not a thing. Berlin is much romanticized back home. So you assumed that your former colleagues had run to Berlin. It was the only thing that I had to go on. At best I would find them, at worst it would be a good place to rebuild my life. And of course to establish the web of contacts that I need to track my betrayers down. There's a squeal of tortured metal as Koshai drags its claws over the iron grating that covers the floor. Raptor glances down at the drone and it goes calm. He takes a deep breath and continues. It took me over a year to locate my former friends. It was a long, painstaking search, but I was nothing if not determined. I finally found evidence that they'd used my research as a bargaining chip to secure positions at Ares, and that they were in Hong Kong. So you came here at Huey. He nods. I picked up and left the next day. My old team was upset, to be sure. Oh, okay. It's Lucky Strike's team. All right, that's the lady from the bar. Lucky Strike in particular howled for my blood, but I knew where my priorities lie. So here I am, and here they are, and soon I will be ready to act. I really must thank you for inviting me to the team. Your abilities will be invaluable when the time finally comes to make my move, assuming, of course, that you'd be willing to help. Something tells me that you weren't surprised when I invited you onto the team. You were waiting for this, weren't you? I thought it might go over better if you believed it to be your idea. And it would seem I was right. I am on the team after all. Yes, you are. And you're right. I, for one, would be happy to help you. When you're ready, just say the word. Thank you, my friend. This is a discussion for another day. We aren't ready to hit an Ares facility yet, and there's more intelligence to gather before we make our move anyway. When the time comes, let me know. Stolen research means more to you than money, doesn't it? Yes, much more. It was my life's work, and it was important. Reducing it to a bargaining chip was a deadly insult, both to me and to all those who would benefit from my work. You say that with almost religious fervor. Religious? No. Religious superstition is a relic of the past. I welcome the future. A future that my research was intended to help usher in. Tell me about this future that you predict. Tell me, are you familiar with the concept of transhumanism? Jesus. The transformation of humanity as a species by technological means? Sure, if I'm not mistaken, we're already living in a transhumanist present. Yes, that's right. Transhumanism is no longer a philosophy, it's a fact. Look around you. Cybernetics are an important aspect of everyday life. Further, I would argue that the synthesis of man and machine is the crowning achievement of metahumanity as a people. Cyber technology is an impressive technological feat, but our crowning achievement? No. Raise an eyebrow. And what would you suggest to be more important? more impactful to our species than the science of cyber technology? Neither of these things. Jesus. Um, where's my nothing comes to mind option where I can just be like, fine, I'll go with you on this. Art, music, literature, those are the things that make life worth living. Shrugs. Those are all fine things, of course. I wouldn't downplay the importance of any of them, but cyber technology has fundamentally altered our people, indeed, our species, on a physiological level. Can you name me a novel, a painting, a piece of music that can claim the same? By exerting our will over the composition of our own bodies, we have conquered the mindless trial and error of biological evolution. For the first time in history, there is a God, and he is us. If there were not a God, it would be necessary to create one. What's the comrade there for? It's not like he's a communist. Okay, we got it. We're living in a transhuman world, so where were you going with this? In such a future, the capacity for unlimited self-repair would be indistinguishable from immortality. You can see then why the theft of my research gave us such a blow. My former colleagues hadn't just stolen it from me. They'd taken my contribution to the future of our species and reduced it to a bargaining chip. Yeah, I get it. I'd be upset too. I was more than upset, my friend. I was livid. I still am. But all will be made right in the fullness of time. I am nothing if not a patient man. I can wait. What can you tell me about the colleagues who stole your work? Today they call themselves Taylor and Hardingham. Speaks through clenched teeth. Crochet drags a claw across the ground and you can hear the squeal of metal on metal. Those aren't their real names, obviously. They shed their former identities when they left their old lives behind. What were they called when you worked with them back at Grishin Aviakar? Doesn't matter. Those two men are as dead to me as they are to the world. My old colleagues no longer exist. Taylor and Hardingham are all that remain. They are targets now. Nothing more. Islay brushes Koshai's armored chassis with the fingertips of his right hand. Oh, how wonderful it will be to find them. What a reunion we will have. What was it like growing up in the Russian Republic? Tumultuous, as you might expect. Probably aren't old enough to remember the Euro Wars, but I am. I'd like to hear about them. My country was the instigator of the first Euro War back in '30. I remember the rhetoric, the hardships of living under a wartime economy, the rampant xenophobia that took hold. I remember how we all cheered when our forces invaded Poland. 3 months, that was all it took for our military to crush what meager resistance the Poles could bring to bear. It was quite the source of national pride at home. I remember our drive into Germany and the desperate bid to reclaim the eastern portion of that country for ourselves. No. Just think about the symbolic significance of such an act. An audacious move, to be sure, but Secretary Krapunin was determined to make history. God! So what happened? Did the German military stop you? No, the Night Wraith incident did. Alright, Daimon says, here, enjoy this section from the Shadowrun book. The example character for Street Samurai has the following description. The Street Samurai is more than an urban predator or partial cyborg. He is a freelance operative who follows a strict code of honor. Street honor. He is learned in the ways of the traditional samurai warrior as he is in the practice of security features. Wow. So that's almost word for word. The shadow, that help screen we had with the thing on the description of Street Samurai was almost word for word. It was definitely paraphrased from that. Well, I guess they're faithful. He has a skill of 3 in Japanese society and a skill of 5 in Bushido philosophy. Holy shit. Fuck. Oh, This is like, um, in the range touch Discord today, people are talking about Bloodlines. Of course, people are playing it, and they're talking about kind of the some of the bad stuff that is sort of to some extent inherited from World of Darkness, and possibly to some extent that is unique to that game. Um, but the thing, because I mentioned like, well, World of Darkness, obviously has a bad heritage, and somebody said, they didn't know, and I was like, well, or they weren't familiar with past World of Darkness old stuff, and I was like, well, if you remember, like Oriental Adventures in Dungeons and Dragons is from the 90s, or maybe the late 80s, I don't remember. It's like, imagine similar people who produced that stuff, but they're working in a setting that is set in the present, in the real world, and like how much worse it just is just by that. And that's how you get to that stuff. And I would like that. Obviously, Shadowrun is not set in the present, but it is set in the real world, more or less. So it also kind of has that. That reminds me of that, of the similar effect of like, oh god, you fucking people. Um, British-made fighter bombers with stealth capabilities, very state-of-the-art, very powerful. Well, that's the Night Wraith, okay. At least that's what they were reported to have been. Nobody has ever come forward to accept responsibility of the attack. Regardless of who was behind it, the result was the same. Wave upon waves of bombings that targeted our forces and the Germans alike, coupled with assassinations of dozens of military leaders. A devastating, synchronized operation expertly carried out over the course of a single night. At home, viral attacks shut down our power grids. Well, that's contemporaneous. Oh god, Taiwan says I can go get my Kindred of the East book next if you like. Fuck. Please, no. At home, hundreds of thousands of Russian homes found themselves without heat or electricity in the dead of winter. Koshai stuttles forward, allowing the rigger to rest his hand on the sloping metal of his chassis. Rector stares at his own deformed reflection in the metal of the drone's body, a sad smile on his face. I remember huddling under a mountain of cheap blankets that my mother had piled up on my bed. They did little to protect me from the cold, but they were something that I could hang on to, something tangible that I associated with warmth and comfort and home. There, as my body trembled and I watched my breath frost over, a horrible truth descended upon me. We had caused this. We were the villains of the First Euro War. For the first time I came face to face with what Krapunin's folly had brought us, and there, under that ridiculous heap of rags, I came to realize what would surely come to pass. The world thought us villains, and so they would treat us like villains. We would be pariahs on the international stage, crippled by retributive sanctions. We would never live down the shame. Wipes his hands as if cleaning them. A wry smile stretches across his face. And then the AFA... What the hell's the AFA? Invaded Greece and Spain, sparking off Euro War II. We deployed our troops to help repel them, and all was right again. That easy, huh? About. Oh, we were still regarded with suspicion, of course, but Europe might have fallen if it hadn't been for our help. In essence, we took back our reputation at gunpoint. Not an ideal solution, but it worked. Within the span of 4 months, we Russians had gone from nobodies to a terrible threat to unlikely saviors in the eyes of the Western world. Wait, Euro War 1 and 2 took place within 4 months of each other? Studying exactly how this happened has taught me a great deal about human psychology and social dynamics. You said as if you weren't one. Just a figure of speech, my friend. Nothing more. Now, shall we talk about something else? Surely there are more interesting and relevant things to discuss. You mentioned that the Second Euro War was sparked off by the AFA. Who were they? Ah, yes. I suppose you wouldn't know. They were only active for the years surrounding the conflict, after all. The AFA was the Alliance for... Oh, dear God. The Alliance for Allah, serving under Mullah Saeed Jazir, a coalition of right-wing Middle Eastern governments that assembled after the failure, some say sabotage, of the United Islamic Conference. They looked to a weakened Europe and saw an opportunity, one that my country was entirely responsible for creating. Oh, Shadowrun. Please don't try to deal... Your fictional politics are really bad. they've mostly just not mentioned them. Well, okay, I guess Dragonfall did obviously talk about Berlin a lot and the whole anarchy thing, and I talked a lot about on stream about how dumb it was, but man. So they launched a surprise attack. Yes, but in hindsight, we should have foreseen it. Ultimately, the AFA did what any hawkish power would have done in their position. I cannot fault them for taking advantage of Europe's weakened state. Given their circumstances, they would have been foolish not to. Well, I take it you beat them. I mean, I haven't heard of the AFA before, so things can't have ended well for them. No, my friend, they did not win. The AFA folded in 37 after Jazreer's assassination. A lucky thing for us, too. The body count could have been a great deal higher. In the years they were active, the AFA gave us a hell of a fight. Okay. We are done talking to everyone. That was a lot of talking. We do still need to go talk to Kindly and get the new mission, but I think we can do that next time. Considering we have 3 missions active already. Also need to, actually spend our... Oh, we need to go buy shit. How much money do we actually get? Not very much. Okay. I will go buy shit next time. Mainly, I want to buy a sniper rifle first. I think I want to buy a sniper rifle first. Trying to think, because I also want to buy armor. Maybe want to buy a spell. I mean, I have a spell slot, so I can consider buying a spell. Yeah, I only have the basic armor right now, which is armor 1, so armor 2 would help-ish a little bit. But yeah, mainly buy a rifle for Duncan, sniper rifle. Alright. Okay, we're done. Quit. I was not expecting to go extra long. But thanks to everyone, anyway, who joined me tonight for Shadowrun, Hong Kong. We'll probably be gone tomorrow. And I think what I'm going to do on Thursday, so I know I said I was going to stream Bloodlines. One, I have been kind of, I mean, I want to stream Bloodlines because a lot of people are playing it, and I know people playing it, and it's like, oh, let's play it and talk about it and stuff. I just haven't really been that excited when I've actually, like, thought about playing it now. But, and then, Icepick Lodge just put out today the official demo for Pathologic 2, which is releasing in a month, or well, the first campaign is releasing in a month, and they said that, like, it is not just a slice of the game, it is like they said, it's partly a slice of the game, but it also has some differences from the actual game. So I think I'll play that on Thursday and see if we can, it's supposed to be much better. It's supposed to run much better than when we tried to play the alpha. So hopefully that goes better. I think that'd be fun. I'm really excited to play that game. I gotta actually play Abduction and finish it so I can play that on Fridays when it comes out. So yeah, that's the plan. The rest of the schedule. Oh yeah, I gotta update because Sunday we are playing Imperador. Woohoo! Or Imperator, I guess is the closer to Latin pronunciation, but whatever, Imperator. So I gotta update that. But yeah, schedule's also below stream. You can follow for notifications when I go live. You can sub for emotes of my cats. Appreciate everybody who hangs out and chats. It's a lot of fun for me. I hope it is fun for you guys, and I hope you stop by again in the future. Goodbye.
So long, farewell to you, my friends. Goodbye for now. Until we meet again, I say so long, farewell to you, my friends. Goodbye until we meet again. Goodbye for now, until we meet again.